All right, we're live. Get a couple viewers on here. Wait till we get a couple viewers on here, but as soon as you guys tune in, feel free. Any questions or comments? Talking trapping tonight, talking ice fishing, talking winter ice camping, talking sleeping on the trap line, pretty much everything. So feel free with any questions that you have. If I miss your question or don't get to it, just ask it again. I don't miss any on purpose, guys. So um, if I miss it and it's cycling through, then just ask it again. That's all I ask. But welcome everybody. It looks like we got some people tuning in. Feel free, guys. Ask any questions you want on the trap line or ice fishing or anything like that. I got some pretty good ones coming out for you. I'm just getting in off the trap line today. There's Michael Bruyere. Good evening. Good evening. Just getting in off the trap line today. Had another awesome day. Fisher are really moving. We don't have a lot of traps out right now. It's thin. There's a ton of traps in camp behind me, but the ones we have out are still highly active, let's just say, and they're doing really well. And we caught a couple super cool fisher today that I'm really excited about. I got a couple fisher right here drying. These are pretty well dried out, ready to ship. A couple fisher there, and we got some martin over here. Yeah, so that's what we got. But not that numbers are everything, but any idea where you're at for the year? Yeah, we have a pretty good idea, Scott, where we are. We don't publish that. It's comparison's the thief of joy, and for us and for other people, we don't want anybody else getting upset or anything like that. So numbers wise, we're just having a fantastic year, absolutely fantastic. We're ahead of pace on what we did last year for fisher and martin, although we've pretty much stopped martin trapping completely, and we're just going to catch whatever we catch bycatch out of our fisher sets. So we're just setting for fisher now. We're going to still hit some martin. There's nothing you could do with the way that they have the traps now, and with the exclusion devices makes it really hard to be discerning with that trap. So we're still going to hit some martin, but we're mostly setting fisher now. So we might have 20 traps out there. I don't even know. I gotta sit down and actually count them. But for quite a few weeks now, we've had more traps in camp than we have in the woods. So Joshua Gage says, how's the weather? Weather's awesome, man. We're in this like super cold snap. I love it. We had 12 below the other morning. I think it was like 3 below the next morning, and I think it was around 0 this morning. I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but we had like a high of 10 today, and it doesn't look like we're going to get even hitting the 20s in Fahrenheit for the whole week. So it's making ice. We're going to have, hopefully, fingers crossed, really good, safe, early ice this year. And this is about as good of an ice week as I've ever seen, because you got that one that kicks it off with that -12 night, and I think it got like 5 degrees that day up here up north as a high. So it should be building ice. All the water temps are really low right now, so it can make ice in a hurry and make a lot of it. There's not a lot of snow on top, like we've been getting snow up here every day. I was in a couple spots today that had like, good 10 inches of snow. I was out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to lie with the truck. I took the truck today because I was picking up a lot of traps, and it's easier in the truck right now. And, there's maybe 6 inches at camp. It's not bad with a 2-wheel drive truck. I'm 2-wheel drive now because my front differential's broke, and I'm waiting on one to come in the mail. But yeah, I got into a couple spots today that were pretty far out of my comfort zone, but I don't mind living outside my comfort zone. I kind of always live there. So made it work, got back to camp, and had a heck of a haul today on the trap line. Scott wants to know when the trapping season ends. Trapping ends for the general trapping season ends last day in December. And then in certain zones and maybe statewide now, beaver trapping extends into like March or something like that. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't trapped any beaver yet or gone hard at beavers, because we're really focused on the mustelids right now, your martin and fisher. And beaver take time. They take time to set up. They take time to put up. And there's nothing quick about beaver. So I'm going to wait till later in the season. Should have a trapping partner coming up this week, I think, that is highly, highly skilled at beaver. I'm not highly skilled at beaver. I'm just a brute force and ignorance beaver trapper. I can block them off and throw some 330s in front of them and see what happens. And but I'm not a skilled beaver trapper. So I'm really looking forward to him coming up and setting some beaver and teaching me, or me soaking up as much as I can learn from him and learning how to beaver trap even better. So hopefully that answers your question. Making some ice for sure. Jeffrey Thompson, how'd you meet Donnie? Great channel. He loves watching every day. Really appreciate that, Jeffrey. Donnie and I live in the same town. We live a mile apart. And, I cannot remember when we met. I don't remember how we met. That's how long I've known him and how long we've been the closest of friends. He's top notch. I remember he used to come to my baseball games in high school. Maybe before that. I can't remember. I'd have to ask him. But he's always been a huge supporter, and our hobbies and our just everything that we do really aligns. The things that we love to do, whether it be hunting, trapping, fishing, camping, ice fishing, everything just really aligns. And the stuff we like to do in our off time, off from that stuff aligns too, like we both really love the history of Maine and logging and yeah, he's just a great friend that I'm super lucky to have and grateful to have. So hopefully that answers, doesn't really give you a great answer, but yeah, so the next one, it looks like Michigan minor, MI minor. Sorry if I've talked about it already. I've missed it, but curious what your relation to Donnie is, and hope you're doing well. Hope he's doing well in Canada. So Donnie's he's a great friend of mine, like a best friend. There's a huge age gap. He's wicked old and I'm wicked young. No, I'm just kidding. But there is a huge age gap and we're just best friends. And, he could be a younger brother to me. He could be a grandfather. He could be a father. He could be anything to me. It's, but no blood relation, just really, really, really close friends with the same interests. And we live a mile apart and just been super, super lucky to have him in my life. Josh wants to know how the mice population's doing. He caught 2 in his pickup this week. No, so early in the season, we are under like major attack by the mice. We caught, I think it was 60 on the front porch in 1 week with just mouse traps, putting 10 or 12 mouse traps out. I don't do the bucket thing just because I just really enjoy setting traps. I'm a trapper. But so all fall, they're really looking for a warm place to go, and they're coming in they're trying to come in like crazy. Fortunately, knock on wood, we have not had one mouse inside the camp. So that's a testament to how we did building it and how well Donnie did as a foreman, making sure nothing would ever get in. So, but other than that, we had that one warmer day last week where it got in the 20s, and I snapped like 2 or 3 on the deck. But for the most part, they're not moving that much. They're probably under the snow up here and maybe half hibernating. Trump DeSantis says, I've been fishing Eagle Lake for years and have minimal luck. I see you fish Chamberlain and think you said it's better fishing. I always thought Eagle would be better because it has less pressure. I'm kind of the wrong guy to ask on that, bud, because I've never fished that Eagle. I've fished a couple different Eagles in Maine, but the Chamberlain Lake Eagle I've heard is wonderful. I've heard guys do really well. I've had some buddies that fished it and did really well, but I've come to know Chamberlain and have a pretty good feel for it and do pretty well on it. And as far as pressure goes, none of those lakes are taking any pressure compared to what they used to. Like I had a lot of people get upset with me. Not a lot. I've had a few people get upset with me for posting videos on Chamberlain Lake and helping viewers learn how to fish Chamberlain Lake and stuff like that because they think I'm going to ruin it. But man, if you go back like 15, 20 years, what was it, 20 years or more ago, when that Great Northern Paper Mill was open, that got so much pressure, and that parking lot was always full, and they had the dance in the parking lot, and there was 2 or 3 other parking lots that were overloaded with campers, and people fished all week long, or it used to get some pressure. So it doesn't get any pressure now compared to what it used to, and it's just it can handle it. It's a big lake with a great fishery. So Wayne says, hopefully you're feeling better and see you on the ice soon. I'm feeling 1,000,000% better, bud. I woke up 2 days ago and just jumped out of bed at like 4 o'clock, ready to go. And I was like, wow, I feel good. And not talking for a couple days, not having anybody else in camp, just talking to the GoPro probably helped too. So Michael wants to know, he says he always sees beaver stretched in a circle. Do people not cure the tails? So no, they don't generally cure the tail. So the tail, it's just cartilage, and the outside shell of it's like a really, really, really slick, shiny, tough leather. So it's not part of, there's no fur on it, and it doesn't have a hide. It's it's kind of just cartilage and one bone and like fat, I guess, in there, like a fatty cartilage. And I've seen some people make wallets out of it, and they're curing them now. They're trying to use them now. So that's kind of cool. But for the most part, no. And they call it open skinning with a beaver, as opposed to like these marten you see behind me over here. They're case skinned, where, they're almost like you could put the animal back in it. It's almost taxidermy grade, and you wouldn't have to sew it. So it's done the opposite with beaver. So Boston sports fan wants to know what zone I'm in. That's not something I'm going to disclose, bud. I try to keep my location as private as possible. I just don't want people on top of me, and we get a lot of visitors at camp. North Maine Woods to me is a place for privacy, and I share as much as I possibly can. So I'll just tell you that I've trapped zone 1, 2, 4, and 5. If that helps you, I'm in the northern part of Maine. So, Mr. Nico time, welcome. Nice surprise. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. M.I. Minor, thanks for all the content lately. I've learned a lot from watching the season 1 and 2, and I went out and set my first small trap line this year for Fisher and Bobcat. Tomorrow will be my first check. That's awesome. Just let me know what state or country you're in. I always get curious on that, guys. It helps out a lot too. But Fisher and Bobcat, man, that's the mecca. That's like the ultimate awesome predators, and just an incredibly rewarding trap line when you have success when you're trapping for Fisher or Bobcat. So Kenyon wants to know the temp inside and outside the camp tonight. So right now it's 10 degrees outside. It's 61 inside the camp. I just got back from the trap line. The fire was out, and I threw a couple logs in there, and sounds like they caught. So that's what we're looking at for temps here. It's probably going to be 0 tonight. Josh Rogers, my 4-year-old son Reed loves this channel and says hello. Good luck with the rest of your season. Reed, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. Nate wants to know if I tried out the new diesel heater yet. I have not. I do have one that a subscriber sent me a couple of years ago that I still haven't tried. And I'm also looking at a couple other new ones too, because I wouldn't mind just mounting one in my snowmobile trailer, to be honest with you, and be able to thaw some stuff out inside that trailer, whether it be the snowmobile or gear or stuff like that too. So I'll probably try a couple this year, but I'm excited to try them. Shane Bro wants to know if I got any ice fishing plans this winter. Monstrous ice fishing plans. Monstrous. Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of ice fishing. Believe it or not, I still have a bucket list in Maine. So I've been fortunate enough to get on some of the musky waters, but I'd love to still get back on those musky waters and camp out on them and spend more time on them and really learn some musky waters like on the Canadian-U.S. border. Ross Lake, I've never ice fished Ross Lake. I heard the whitefish are awesome there. The lake trout fishing's hot. So Ross Lake's actually on my bucket list. I don't know why I haven't got over there. Chizuncook, I guess, would be another great one for cask. East Grand's always on there. I want to hit East Grand before they do that derby on there, man. I'm so disappointed that the state allowed a derby on there, and a 2-day derby at that. They got such a beautiful, incredible lake trout fishery there that hasn't had a derby in like 10 or 15 years, and they're allowing a derby there this year. And all those 10 to 15 or 10 to 13 pound lake trout, man, they're gonna kill so many 30-year-old fish there that it's a disgrace. I won't mince words on it, guys. That's how I feel about it. So I'm gonna try to hit East Grand before the derby, because I just have a feeling it's gonna take a beating, and you're gonna lose multi-generations of fish there. Those 30, 20, 30, 35-year-old lake trout that I've personally caught and released. Sean, Brandon, have caught and released for decades there, are going to get killed so someone can win a pack basket. It just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. We gotta relook at that. But I'll get off that subject for now, and I'll shoot a video on it, like a dedicated video, because I get asked why I don't do derbies, and I get asked to show up at a lot of derbies to help out, and I'll get into it more on a separate video. But okay, so MI Miners in the UP. He's an ooper, not a lower. Awesome, man. Let me know how you do. I'm excited. One thing, guys, like, I get really excited for my viewers' trap lines too, because I feel like I'm sharing as much as I possibly can, hopefully helping people, whether it be through success or failure, or just teaching on my trap line. And when I hear about viewers running trap lines, or setting their first line, or haven't trapped for years, or having success, or try a trick they might have learned on mine, I just love to hear that. It gives me the warm and fuzzies. I'm not gonna lie. So that's cool that you're trapping for Fisher and Bobcat, and I'm really excited to hear how you do. So, Lewis D. Brown, welcome. And then Boston Sports Fan, what's your favorite animal to trap? Oh, man, that's such a hard one. It's actually not that hard. I probably love trapping coyote the most, believe it or not, even though you don't see a lot of it on this channel. I think that coyote, where I live, since we don't have wolf, are the most challenging. They're the strongest adversary that a trapper has to test their wits against them. And I think anybody can catch a coyote. I think anybody can catch a few coyotes. But I think to stack numbers of coyotes, it really tests your skill level, and really puts you through the ringer and tests you. And they're one of the most humbling animals, I think, to trap, to go against, because you think you got it figured out, then all of a sudden you start getting dug up, or they leave you a present right on the pan, or something like that, or you miss one by an inch, or you have one just totally skirt around your set. So I guess coyote kept me fired up the most. I'm probably most excited to catch a fisher, and I've tried to figure out why. I don't know why. Maybe because, one of my mentors that I trapped with 22 years ago was just an incredible fisher trapper, and he'd go nuts over catching fisher. And I learned so much from him. So now every time I catch a fisher, I get really excited. They're much rarer than a martin. I love catching pine martin. They're easy to skin, easy to flesh, easy to put up, beautiful fur. I wear a hat made out of pine martin every day. So I'd feel like I'd be doing them a huge diss, it'd be a huge diss to not put pine martin in the top. But they're, I kind of got to a level where pine martin are really easy for me to catch now. They're easy to catch. So I've lost a little bit of that fire going after pine martin as opposed to coyote. Coyotes still, to me, are like, oh boy, they can humble you in a hurry. And I like that. I like having a major competitor or adversary or whatever you want to say about trying to trap coyote and put up some numbers of coyote. And that's why I'm thinking about really focusing next early coyote season, maybe even into November, on trying to put up some big numbers of coyote down east. So if you guys live down East Maine, anywhere from Katla down to, I don't even know how far south we're going to look. Yeah, I'm not sure how far south, but if you're down east and you got a coyote problem and you want some people to come trap coyote, I'm going to have a couple more partners with me next year, and we're going to go after some coyote pretty hard. So hopefully that answers your question. Lewis Brown, what's happening, fellow Mainer? Welcome. Thank you. Shane Bro, can't wait to see the videos. We missed them last year. Yeah, so I only had like 1 or 2 ice fishing videos last year, guys. If you're new to my channel, I got smoked by the antis, whether it was PETA or the Humane Society or whatever. They organized like a group of terrorists and took down my channel, and YouTube was not set up properly to defend against it and let an AI defend it, and the AI lost miserably. It was not intelligent. It was artificial unintelligence. It was an AU. So I lost my channel over the winter, and I just, I did a lot of ice fishing. I shot a little bit here and there. I wasn't in my best place mentally, so I just didn't do a lot. I just wasn't feeling it. So I do have some ice fishing videos to show you. I got a really cool one coming out, I think tonight. Yeah, I think I got a moosehead one coming out tonight. And then later in the week, maybe even tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, I got another one coming out with Brandon's big togue that was close to 20 pounds last year. And you might have seen that on their channel, but it'll be the first time seeing it on my channel. So those are the couple in the queue. And then I just got to get some time and sit down and edit that snowmobile recovery from 176 foot deep, because I've never seen it or heard its equal. And we shot some pretty cool footage of that. So yeah, so Lewis Brown, he fished East Grand a lot with his grandfather growing up. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's one of my favorite lakes. It's a super, super popular ice fishing lake in Maine. And it's one of the few lakes where you can go and expect to catch 10-pound lake trout. And we put them all back, and yeah, it's a great lake. Nate Cusson wants to know how the business do this summer. It's business. Mr. Nico time. The video with Chubbs made me laugh real good. His revenge will be sweet. Yeah, Chubbs is just one of those awesome guys that's so much fun to have on an ice fishing trip or ice fishing, especially later in the day for some reason. I don't know why, but we've had some good pranks with Chubbs, and I'm sure he'll get me back. If not, I mean, it's fun. It's always good fun. It's funny. I knew posting a video like that wouldn't do well on my channel, but it's such a cool ice fishing trick that's just so much fun, and it was fun for us. I actually lost like 2 or 3 subscribers from it, and it doesn't have hardly any views. It's so funny, YouTube and the algorithm, and since it's a shorter length video, they'll really penalize me for it because my content usually gets a lot longer views. So, but yeah, it was fun. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I don't know, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down or comment on it. Maybe it'll get some more views. Burton Bird wants to know if we're going to wire the shed for electricity. Did you put in for a moose permit? How does that work in Maine? Good questions. So yeah, so I already wired the north cabin or fur shed or stabbing cabin, whatever we're going to call it. So it is wired. I haven't finished running the electric in there yet, but that is going to be wired for a generator, and we're going to have probably some beds in there. I haven't figured out what heat source I want to do yet. So I did not put in for a moose permit this year because I was within my 3-year, the 3-year period where you're not allowed. After you get drawn, you have to take 3 years off before you can draw again. I got drawn, I guess 3 or 4 years ago now, and I gave the permit to my buddy from Florida who's just been putting in his whole life, big time bow hunter, great guy. You might know him as JT Kinney. He does announcing now, but he used to fish the Pro Tour, and he's had an incredible fishing career. So I gave him the permit, and we hunted all week and just had one of the best weeks of hunting I've ever had. And I just love JT. And if I get drawn, maybe I'll give him the next one too. But yeah, so I can put in again next year. And I got drawn, probably 20 years ago now. And me and a buddy and I shot a staver, great big, like 55-inch spread, 24 point, 871 pounder. So that's my moose hunting experience. Nick wants to know if we got the truck fixed. No, it's not fixed yet, buddy. I'm running pretty much two-wheel drive. I got one tooth left, I think, on that front differential, so it'll catch to get me out of a jam, but I'm not relying on it. I'm going old school two-wheel drive, just really paying attention to where I go. And I had a little bit of a rough day with the truck today. Got way out of my comfort zone. I got into a couple areas that had like 10 inches of snow, and it had drifted over from my previous tire track. So probably should have just took the sled over there. But whereas I was picking up a lot of traps, and once I caught that first fisher today, I got so fired up. I wanted to check every single trap I have. So I went places I probably shouldn't have, but I did, and made it back. So it's always a good feeling when you make it back. But I'm thinking this week, hopefully the truck will get fixed. I ordered a front differential, I think out of New York, and they took a long time getting it shipped or whatever. So hopefully it ships. Hopefully it's all right, and get that installed this week. Nick Simons is heading as far as T-Loss Road. Grading and scraping should be good going back towards downtown. There you go. Nice. Josh Rogers, crawler shiners or worms for wild brookies? I use all three and seem to do equally well with all of them. Leads me to believe that worms are the way to go since they're easiest to keep alive. Yeah, Josh, if you've been watching my channel over the last 2 or 3 years, basically just type in the search like Moosehead Brookies, Joe Holland, or something like that. You'll see where I made the switch over, and it's just get some worms. You can get trout worms or crawlers. I don't really see much of a difference other than size, but it's like people from Millinocket. I don't think anybody in town owns a bait can, like a bait bucket or something like that, because they've all just fished with worms for decades. And you just throw it in your pocket and you keep them from freezing, and you don't have to worry about keeping bait alive or transporting or changing water or aerators or anything like that. But we had smelt, shiners, and worms the one trip I did with Chubbs and Sean. And if you guys go back and watch that, the worms outfish smelts and shiners like 10-1 on brook trout. It's legit, and you get a flag and you know what it is, and it's not a smelt down there spinning your line up. So the advantages to using worms for wild brookies are over smelt or shiners are just, there's just too many advantages to overlook it. So Josh, I'm glad you fought to get your channel back and didn't give up on it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rick Flanders, love your channel. Did you and Donnie really put that pine marten in goulash? If so, was it good? I honestly don't know. Donnie was here all day, and he does the cooking. So he said he did, but he also is a jokester like me, and he can say a pretty good joke with a straight face. I'm thinking no. Everything he's ever cooked is good. So if it was in there, it was really good. I know there was some partridge in there mixed in. I wasn't expecting that either. And there was some red meat, but yeah, I'm going to give you guys since you guys are tuned in for this, I'll give you a heads up. I'm doing a catch and cook probably tomorrow. And it's going to be either fish or marten, maybe both. So I'll take away any question there was if it was in there or not. And yeah, we're going to do a catch and cook. So we'll see how the fisher and marten taste. But Boston sports fan, thanks for answering my questions. I'm a youth trapper. Okay. I made my own muskrat colony traps and caught a few last year. Now the deer season's over, I hope to try beaver trapping. Love your videos. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that, bud. Youth trapping, man. I think that's great. I hope that you're learning from the channel. I hope that I'm able to help you out any way that I can. And if you have any questions, feel free either here or in the videos. I still try to get to all the questions on the videos, or just send me a DM or a PM, and I can answer any questions you have as far as that goes. But colony traps are, man, they're like Donnie cleaned house on those for muskrat with colony traps. We had a lot of fun one year trapping muskrat. But Lewis Brown loves the video pranking the cans in the ice hole. Yeah, thank you, bud. It's amazing how poorly it's doing on YouTube, and I actually lost subscribers from it. So maybe people are too serious. I don't know, but I could see like each video if it picked up subscribers or lost subscribers, and that one's not doing well, and I'm losing subscribers, and it's not getting any views. But I don't care. There's not a lot that I really shoot for on these things other than to help people out and entertain a little bit and educate and hopefully inspire some people. So that one was obviously just entertainment, that, or might inspire somebody to play some pranks on their buddies. If so, why not? Life's short. Have fun. Prank your buddies. Brian McGrath, greetings from your neighbor in New Brunswick, Canada. Keep her going, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lisa Burish, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Nick B4, Joe, sounds like you kicked the cold you had. Been loving the trapping vids, even though I don't trap. Yeah, man, I had it bad. I don't know what I had. It was pretty bad. And then was it yesterday? I lose track of days up here. It's bad for me. But I think it was yesterday morning, bright and early. I just woke up and just completely forgot I was even sick and had all sorts of energy. I was bouncing off the walls, and a couple pots of coffee, got a bunch of editing done, got a bunch of trapping done, and I feel great. My voice is coming back. You're going to see like the next couple videos I post. Tomorrow, I think, is when my series with Joe Osgood from FBM Maine Outdoor Journal, they post, I think, tomorrow, and you'll see me get pretty sick over the couple days. But yeah, you just keep trapping, keep going through with it. Mr. Nico Time says, catch and cook will be amazing. It'll be amazing for you guys. It might not be amazing for me. There's probably a reason why Martin and Fisher aren't on food menus or or well-known. We don't really eat a lot of predators as humans. I was trying to think of that today. Like some of my friends eat bobcat and love it. I've heard of people eating mountain lion. Both of those are cats. No one eats coyote that I know of. I guess bear. Do you call bear straight up a predator? I guess so, yeah. So, but there's very few predators that man eats. And there's probably a pretty good reason for that, but I'm going to find out with a catch and cook. So, Heather Gibson, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Rick Flanders, thanks for answering. One time when I was a kid, I caught some muskrat, and my mom put them in beef stew, and I don't remember it being bad. No, muskrat, that's a delicacy, man. Like, muskrat are great. Muskrat, beaver, those aren't really predators, but as far as the trap line, those are two of the top, foods for us from the trap line. So Heather Gibson loved the ice fishing prank. Thank you. So pretty much everybody who saw the ice fishing pranks here, because it's got like very few views. If you don't have a catch, please don't cook and eat the bait. That would be nasty. Well, here's the thing, Steve. I already caught and cooked the bait. So all my bait are partridge carcasses, and they're devoid of food. I've already eaten the breast out of them, and then I just use the guts and stuff and put those in. But yeah, I don't want to do that. I'd hate to eat that. But Lisa Burr, seems like a crazy trapping year. How many animals have you trapped, and what are all the varieties? So numbers wise, we don't really have the numbers compiled yet, because I do have trapping partners up here with me that have come and gone or are still coming. But we've actually added to it this year. We've added to it. So we've gotten marten, weasel, fisher, and mink. Mink's a new one for us this year. Donnie caught a random mink the other day. Not even on a brook, and there aren't really much for mink up here. So we've gotten those. What am I missing? Coyote and fox. We got those. And then that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. But it's been an absolutely amazing year. Switching over to them Belle Isle and Savage O traps have really, really made us so much more efficient and better trappers, and we're just not getting the misses that we had last year. So call me for the storm. Ready to chase yotes with you. He's in. He's pumped already, I can tell. 3 o'clock Pollock's loving the videos. I love that name. So Jeff, I meant to shoot you a message when I got back today. I was thinking about you. If you're still watching, dude, come up and run the trap line for a week with me or a weekend. I know you're the busiest guy in Maine, but your customers aren't going to miss one weekend. And if you have to bring Sarah, I don't mind. But But come up and run the line, buddy. You have to before this line is done. So that's your open invite. You got it. And I did it publicly. So you can't say, oh, you never invite me, nothing. You're invited. So, and since you and Joe Osgood are relatives, he's part of the team, so you might as well come up. But yeah, so Mr. Nicoton, Wooded Beersman, ate coyote, but he eats anything, so you can't trust his judgment. Yeah, what'd he say? I've had coyote in the pan before. I just never followed through with it. I've eaten just about everything else. I don't know about eating dog and knowing it. I've probably eaten it before at a Chinese food restaurant or something like that and didn't know it. But Gary Mitchum says, do you plan on doing more hardware videos this season, Joe? Oh, yeah, absolutely. As soon as trapping season's done, I'll come out of the woods, probably ship some furs. I might come back up and do some antler hunting, but I'm planning a couple ice fishing trips from camp. I'm pretty excited about those. And then it's just going to be straight ice fishing for the rest of the season. So be ready. We're going to do a lot of videoing too. Stephen Riley. Hello from Steve and Teresa from Wisconsin. Met you at the Children's Cancer event this summer. I remember that. Yeah, Steve. How are you guys? We're longtime viewers, and it was a highlight of our trip getting to meet you in real life and keep making videos. Man, thank you so much. I'm truly humbled and honored by that. And for you guys to be there and help support the Maine Children's Cancer Program event that we put on this summer, man, that just meant the world to me. And I wish I had more time for you that day, bud, but I did the best I could. So I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Really, really love the comment and love the support from Wisconsin too. Tim J.K. says, what does Martin taste like? This is going to be first for me. Tomorrow I'm doing a catch and cook. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be close to rabbit. It's a super, super, super lean animal. Very, very muscular, no fat in it. I don't think it's going to be good, but I'm going to try it. How's that for dedicated to your fans? You never heard that. I don't think it's going to be good, but I'm going to eat it. But yeah, I'm going to try it, so we'll see. Boston sports fan, do you prefer fishing, trapping, or hunting? Without a doubt, trapping, buddy. Like I've done fishing at the highest level. I've hunted a lot of different game and focused on it. But when I'm trapping, nothing else in the world matters to me. Like I don't even care about shooting a deer. Like I love trapping. Yeah, and when I'm fishing, I'm thinking about trapping. So yeah. Yeah, Mr. Nico Time said, wow, mink, very cool. Yeah, you're going to see that on, I think, Monday's episode. I have it in the queue ready to go. So yeah, that was a shocker for me too. It was like probably 200 yards from water, now that I look at it again. Laura Bitters. Hi again, Joe. What kind of crampons are you using for trapping and hunting in the snow and ice? We love your channel. So I don't really use any. If we're talking about the ones that on your boot, like crampons, that's what I'm using that word for. But yeah, so for ice fishing, I think it's called Stable Ice are the ones I use, and it's like a sole of a boot that you just kind of Velcro over yours. And they seem to work pretty good. They're comfortable, and you can put them on and off pretty easy. Sometimes I just leave them on the boots and put my sneakers on in the truck. And I don't go in the stores with them because they have like different screw ins, and you don't want to scratch anybody's floor or something like that. But those are good for ice. Caught mink in our chicken coop, Ned. Yeah, yeah, mink they're always hunting. Uncle Pat loves the live show. Keep her going. Thank you, Pat. 350 Mac. Any ice up there yet? Yeah, I actually stood on ice today. I don't know how much there was. It wasn't deep water, but I just felt like walking across some ice. So I walked across some ice. So I don't think we've hit 20 degrees in a week now anyway. And we had negative 12. We had like 3 pretty good mornings of negative. Tonight's probably going to get negative. That's holding right at about 10 degrees. Heather Gibson wants to know if I'm ready for some ice fishing, any big trips planned. So yeah, a lot of trips planned. It's going to be pretty solid ice fishing year. I got a lot of people that I want to ice fish with, and and a lot of solo trips I want to ice fish. Gonna probably hit East Grand. I'll hit Chamberlain. I want to get over to Ross this year. I've never ice fished Ross. I used to trap around Ross. Then I want to fish like 2 or 3 lakes from camp, by snowmobile. And, just the journey to the lake is going to be just as much fun as the fishing, I think. So I think that'd be cool to fish from camp. And I'll probably fire up this propane heater right here, before then, and keep this place at a pretty good temperature and be out ice fishing all day and come back to a nice warm camp. That'd be kind of cool. I think I missed it. Oh, Josh Rutter says, time for a link season, even if it's just a few permits a year on a lottery system, would be a good moneymaker for the state. Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is say good moneymaker for the state, and they'll sell their whole moose herd for $1, right? Yeah. So the state's got no say in it. They've actually worked really hard to keep our regular trapping season open because it's a federally threatened species. Even though it's not a threatened species at all, it's just there's a border where they're strongest. I did hear that the current administration is trying to actually delist them and do the right thing because they're not a threatened species, and they're like the spotted owl for the anti-trappers. They've been using that with lawsuits, trying to shut down all trapping and hunting and even logging over the link. So yeah. Alan Dufresne's, welcome. Nick says, looks like a good ice year coming up. Man, it's shaping up to be like an awesome ice fishing year. I don't see any warm-ups in the future. I don't see any rainstorms. I'm hoping we get a stave and ice fishing season. I hope it stays cold. Yeah. So Lynx Ridge wants to know if I'm staying in the camp all winter. Nope, I'm not going to stay all winter. I'd love to. I might, but I can't really do the whole ice fishing and the YouTube thing if I stay here all winter. So to do my ice fishing stuff properly, I do have to come out, and I got to come out to ship all of our furs to the tannery. And if there's any viewers that want to buy furs this year from the Trapline, shoot me an email. I'll put that. It's in every single one of my videos, and I'll send those to the tannery and then ship them to you as soon as they get back. We did that last year. It worked out really good, I think, for everybody. So Lewis Brown says, I agree. Coyotes are too close to a dog for me to eat. I like dogs better than some people. Yeah, I mean, I'll try a coyote, I guess, maybe next year. I don't know. That doesn't sound appetizing to me. Mousa Duyord said, did you want ice fishing on Moosehead this year, and how much ice was it? Nope. I put in the description. That was my footage from last year. So I don't think Moosehead's frozen yet, but it's probably not far from it. Keith Berger, there he is. Welcome. He's not from Otter Tail County, but close. Yeah, close enough, right? Yeah, and you've been to Otter Tail County enough, and I've seen some pictures of you holding up some big muskie that I'm not going to spill on live, but they probably came from Otter Tail County. So, Lisa Burrish, can't wait for ice fishing myself. Season's coming early. Ice up. I agree. Yeah, let's get some good, safe ice this year. Uncle Buck's Forge really enjoys your trapping videos. It's been 17 years since I ran a trap line. I retired in May. I ran a water line this year, caught coon and muskrat. Nice. I'm going to set a coyote and fox line tomorrow. Congratulations. Good for you. That's awesome. Good luck. Yeah, I had like an 18-year hiatus from trapping, and Tom Miranda, who was here, he had a close to 30-year hiatus from or time off from trapping too. So you don't lose it. You don't lose it in your passion or in your blood, and you pick it up pretty quick. You're going to make some mistakes probably. You're not going to be as young and spry as you once were, but now you have more knowledge and you're smarter and older, right? That's one way to look at it. It's a trade-off. So Wide River Outdoors. Joe, you mentioned a couple episodes ago that many of your peers said they were going to be trapping in the hardwoods, but you decided to focus on the green growth. Can you flesh that out a bit? So no, we mix that up a little bit. So yes, a lot of other trappers said that you had to be in the hardwoods this year. I'm not a have to guy. Like there's guys that say you have to do this and you have to do that. One of my favorite things about trapping is being able to apply my curiosity, and experience, but being curious and like, wondering, can I catch a martin in that? Can I catch a martin here? Can I catch a martin there? So I'm a huge, huge fan, if I'm running a long line, especially, of diversifying my trap line. So I'm gonna have sets for Fisher and Martin both in the hardwoods. I'm gonna have them in the mixed growth. I'm gonna have them in the green growth. I'm gonna have them in swamps. I'm gonna have them on edges. I'm gonna have them on ridges. There's a lot of guys out there who will only trap the hardwoods and they'll only trap the ridges, because it might be a good beech nut year, it might be the off year, or or whatever, however that goes. But I'm a huge fan of diversifying and then trying to figure out why each area works. And for me, like, the hardwoods hit early. Other guys did really well in them. I did really well in them early. And then that first storm we had, man, the green growth just turned on like a light switch. So, are the animals much different than us where they're looking for a better shelter, a better canopy, whether it be your prey animals or your predators, you know, everything kind of went to the green growth as soon as we got snow cover and we got those storms, and maybe, with less leaves on the tree too, as the leaves, came off the trees even more, and the hardwoods got even more open. But I don't know, but I hope that answers your question as to why I diversify. And, you know, it keeps you skinning every night, if you diversify too, because my hardwood lines did really well early, and then my softwood lines picked up, and then my mixed growth picked up after that. So it's like there is a transition, and there's a transition period, and I think a lot of it's based on the weather. I think it's based on forage. I think it's based on your prey animals. And if you're the type of guy that wants to be skinning every night on your trap line and have success as far as catches every day, then I would highly, highly recommend diversifying any of your predator lines, especially. So hopefully that answers that. And feel free with a follow up if I didn't get to what you were asking. So, Ben cluster, any crappie in the North Maine woods? They are close. They're closer than a lot of people know about. Yeah. Not that I know of, other than some that are really close. So, Wide River, your strategy worked well. Keep hammering them, pal. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And, one of my favorite things about trapping is not being, not getting bored. Like, I'm not, it's hard to get bored trapping, but I think I set like 3 spots that I set last year. That was it. Like, I really looked for new country. And then even if I trap like the same areas or road systems, I still found new woods, and there's very few. I think I set like 3 spots where I could have just left the box out there empty all year if I wanted to, and because I set the same exact spot. And probably those I had success with Fisher. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah, I love trapping. I love the diversifying my trap line, and then trying to figure out why it's doing better, what's doing better, what's next, and learning from it. The best thing about trapping is it's the best classroom in the world for you to learn if you want to learn, and be open-minded. So Boston Sports Fan, there's 4 to 5 inches of ice in northern Katahdin region. There you go. Yeah, it's awesome right now. Mr. Nico says, if marten is similar to rabbit, I'd slow cook it for a while. You're right. I should probably get right into it and do a cooking show on it. But a lot of times when I first try something, I just throw it in the fry pan with a little bit of butter and a little bit of salt and pepper maybe, or nothing at all, and just try it in the fry pan first. But, and I was thinking about that today, and I'm like, there's nothing we really eat without spicing it or seasoning it or cooking it properly. So people get upset and they say, you're not a purist if you don't eat it, if you put salt and pepper on it or something like that. But yeah, I'll figure out a good way. Probably a crock pot for that marten would be the best, because that's like how you cook rabbit, Huss and Pfeffer. A lot of people cook rabbit, slow cook it or put it in a crock pot or stew, because it's just so muscular and so and not fatty at all. There's no grain at all in it for fat. But New Hampshire. How do you plan on surviving the winter without fresh Donnie's donuts? That's how I'm going to survive it, is by not eating those donuts. But no, they're phenomenal. I'm going to have to learn. I've been spoiled by Donnie. I'm not going to lie. You guys know that. And he's just always been an amazing cook, and his donuts are amazing. So I'm going to have to cook them. I'll cook them for a bunch of buddies this year. So Tired Redneck, there he is. Welcome. Rick Robitaille. Hi, Joe. Hope to meet you in the YouTube crew. Yeah, I might. Guys, I might be able to do another big meet and greet this year. I did it on Damerscott Lake last time, and it was a huge success. It was a blowout. We had almost too many people. There was like 337 people showed up. I'm trying to find a venue that can maybe have parking for 500 to 1,000 people. The only thing I could think of is like the Sportsman Show or rent like the Civic Center or something like that. And it's not fun to put money up for something like that. I know you can make money on it or something like that, but I don't care about making money, and I don't want to defeat the purpose of the whole thing. So I'll figure it out. Maybe we'll figure something out for this winter, but it's on my mind. It's been on my mind a lot. So Michael Abbott says, hi, Joe. I hear you talking about 6 to 8 pound brookies. Curious, what's your PB brookie? Mine's in like the four and change range. I'm not a big time trout guy or a brookie guy. I've caught a handful in the 3 to 4 range and only a couple in that 4 pound range. So I just got to put my time in a little bit more if I want to. And it's Moosehead. It's happening on Moosehead. And a lot of the best areas are closed now to ice fishing, but they're still, they got tails and they can swim. So they're not always in those areas. Steven Simmons, first year trapping in 60 years. Pulled traps after 5 days for beaver. Thanks for lighting the fever again. My pleasure, man. That's comments like that just really, they give me the warm and fuzzies. I love that. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And good luck. Mike Socia says he loves the videos. Nice. Used to catch for the Angels. Yeah, for the California Angels. Mike Socia. I think he was a manager too, right? So thanks for tuning in. Tired Redneck Joe, it's legal to own one of them big old bear traps. No, it's not illegal to own them. I don't know the current bear trapping laws, but up, 20 years ago when I trapped, you could still use one of those, one of those giant, huge new house, like bear traps, like the number 5 or 13 or 15. It's not illegal to own them. There's very few things that are illegal to own other than like ivory and stuff like that. But the bear trap's not illegal to own. They're pretty cool. I'd like to own one myself. They're not cheap. They're super, super expensive, like on the collector market for like a legit one. But back when I used to trap, if you wanted to use one of those before like this new awesome bear trap that they have, like the cable snare, the wrist snare, they had like a jump snare or the old metal foothold. And you had to actually have like wire around it, like a 4-foot, I think, square around it. And it had to be 2 strands of wire, and it had to have like warning signs on it. So there was no chance of a person getting in it unless they wanted to. But yeah, I don't know if those are still legal or not. But you can definitely own them. Tired Redneck, can you snare rabbit? We can't snare anything other than beaver under the ice because of the links up here. We used to have a really cool coyote snaring program in the deer winter yards. And it was you had to have like a biologist kind of company, I think. It's a little bit before my time, but it was actually taken down by a biologist who was against it. And the department actually lied to the trappers. And this is public knowledge. This is not hearsay. They lied to the trappers and said they were doing a study on if the coyotes had red wolf. But one of the biologists, or a couple of them, were actually doing a study on the snaring program, and how the coyotes were, how they were dying by the snare. And then ultimately they got snaring banned, and It was the commissioner actually apologized at the time to Maine Trappers Association, I think on record. But there's some guys that can tell you a lot more info on it than me. But we're not allowed to snare anything other than beaver under the ice. But it'd be cool to snare rabbit. I'd love to. That'd be awesome. Hunter the Lord says you're disgusting. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's not for everybody. There's a million YouTube videos up right now. Click off this one. Click on a rainbow one for you or something like that. You'll enjoy your life much better, if you're not enjoying this. But I think I missed a couple comments. Oh, there we go. 3 o'clock pole lock. Moosehead spend a lot of time fishing near Lily Bay. Yeah, you can't fish Lily Bay anymore. Never the northern part of the lake. Have you spent any ice fishing time? Sabumic area of Moosehead. If so, is it worth the trip? Sabumic Lake area of Moosehead. I'm not 100% sure where you mean, but I fished pretty much all over that lake. Do you think you could snare grouse if you were allowed? Maybe. I never really thought about that. Steve wants to know how the makeshift shelf support's holding. Thanks to Donnie for rigging that up. Oh, it's working great. Yeah, all the shelves here are working great. Yeah. Watching from North Carolina, the duck hunter grew up trapping in Vermont, missed the northern New England accent. Yeah, I don't have a super strong accent that I know of, but if you watch the next couple of nights, I'm going to have Joe Osgood on here from FBM Maine Outdoor Journal, and he's got the best accent you'll hear in Maine currently, I think, or even his boys do. Lisa Burrish hopes to see some new videos of you ice fishing with Brandon. Yeah, it's in the works, man. He's one of my favorite people to ice fish with, and we got some plans this year. We're going to make it happen. Aaron Black wants to know if I saw any nice bucks. I saw a few bucks this year. I just never made it happen. Didn't really hunt this year. But I did see a few. I saw some monstrous tracks, and the deer herd's doing incredible in the North Maine woods right now. They're coming back. So Jeff says he'll see what he can do. If we have to take one sled, I'll ride in the middle. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Yeah, I got 2 skis. You guys can each stand on a ski, and I'll just lean back in both seats. So there's Hunter the Lord. You're disgusting. Thank you. Jay Olson, do you have a number goal for Martin this year? I do not, Jay. I don't have a number goal. We're allowed 25 per person per trapping partner, so we're doing pretty well. We've pretty much all but stopped Martin trapping, so I guess you'd say we're there right now. So Terry Maybury, let's go, Joe. Thank you. Rick Robitaille, thinking about going to Moosehead for the first time. Where's a good place to start? I probably will have a snowmobile Mooseheads on my bucket list. Rockwood Boat Launch is a good access point, and Kineo is a really good area to fish for lake trout, yellow perch. You can catch some brook trout over there. That whole eastern shore that's open to ice fishing is really good for brook trout, from the south end to the north end, in my opinion. Any of those coves that you see are really good for brook trout. Around the islands are good for brook trout and lake trout. You could have incredible lake trout numbers days on Moosehead. Double check with the laws. They have it on the app now, but there's a lot of places that are closed to ice fishing on Moosehead. So make sure you know where you are on the map. If you have the app will actually show you. But the state puts up like red boards in trees to show you where like the start and the end of each closed section is. So you can't ice fish the best brook trout areas in Moosehead because of that. So Maggie's mom, hi Joe, you love the smell Martin. Can you describe what one smells like before processing? So no, it's not Martin that I love. Martin really don't have much of a smell at all. I wouldn't be able to pick it up in a lineup. It's Fisher. Fisher, they have just this crazy, unique smell. I actually have some on my hand. I can't even describe it. I've never smelled anything like it, like a Fisher, but once you smell it, you'll never forget it. And it's not repulsive or anything like that. Not that many smells bother me as a trapper. And, I grew up on a farm milking cows, but it's not at all repulsive. I think if like someone who doesn't trap or hunt smelled it, they wouldn't turn their nose up at it, but they'd be like, whoa, I've never smelled that before. But it's super, super, super unique. And to me, it's just a great smell because it brings back so many awesome memories and stuff like that. And it's the smell of success on the trap line, I guess, is a cool way to put it. So hopefully that answers your question. I wish I was better at describing smells, but there's nothing really to compare it to, so I can't. So it's got like a super woodsy smell to it too. Yeah, nothing. Sorry. Wish I could. I'll think on that more, and maybe I'll find the words for it. But not Martin. Martin really don't have much of a smell at all to me. They're such a mild animal. Wide River Outdoors says, that's great, Joe, and I appreciate the response. Your channel's a treasure chest of info for the outdoors community. We all appreciate you letting us tag along. Thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, it's a ton of work running a YouTube channel. I tell people that want to start it, that just be ready to put in the work and go step by step. So it's a ton of work. You can get into a rhythm like I have from doing it long enough. But yeah, it's a lot of work. And when I hear feedback from people that they appreciate it, or it's helped them, or it's inspired them, or it's lit a fire under them, that's the stuff that keeps me going and working really hard on it when it is, hard work and bogging you down a little bit and adding to the workflow. Oh, there he is. Wait, first, sorry, I'm going to get to it. If you do a meet and greet, count me in for sure. Yeah, I'll let you know on that. I got to figure that out. And I've asked the viewers already if they have any good suggestions or something of a place where we can get a lot of parking that isn't going to upset a lot of people. Let's do it, or let me know. So, Mr. Nico Time, planning to do any ice fishing collabs with other YouTubers this year? Oh yeah, yep. I'll have a bunch. Yep. Then there he is, guys. Look at the next comment. David Dudley, are you ready to lose again in the trapping roulette? Yeah, buddy. I got a good one for you this year. So if you guys don't know and are new to the channel, there's David Dudley in the comment section. One of my very closest friends, took me under his wing. He's at the top of the game in fishing when I was just a rookie. And he's an awesome, awesome outdoorsman and just a ton of fun. And he's probably the oldest 5-year-old you'll ever see on TV. So I'm sure he just laughed at that. So Dudley's going to come up and run the trap line. And we're going to have some fun games, guys. And he's probably going to get mad that I eat this Martin and Fisher before he gets here. But I got a feeling we'll catch some more, buddy. And Dudley, if you're just tuning in, I've already announced that tomorrow I'm doing a catch and cook with either Martin or Fisher. Probably Martin, maybe Fisher. But I'll have it figured out by the time you get here. And David's got some really cool stuff for you guys. We're going to make some popcorn out of some fat from the trap line. And one of the viewers had offered me some rendered bear fat, which I'm really excited to get that. Hopefully Dudley will be able to pick that up on his way up. And we're going to make bear fat popcorn. I'm pretty excited for that. I know it doesn't sound awesome to everybody, but I don't care. We're going to try everything. I'm a big fan of trying most things. So yeah, so there's Dudley in the comments. Love that guy. He's one of my closest friends. Shoot, I lost where I was. There we go. Jay Olson, we have a log house and looked at buying one of the old big bear trap, and they cost around $2,000. Yeah, man, I don't even know. Tom Miranda just posted 3 of his new house bear traps and like the different size ones and the setters, and it just blows me away. It's so cool. I'm gonna make him an offer on one of them, but there's no way he would ever let one go. Yeah, Mr. Nico Time says he got stronger traps this year. Don't go losing fingers. Yeah, Dudley. Yeah. We're gonna change the game a little bit. Jacob Willette, your book of knowledge. Enjoy the. Oh man, I appreciate that. I'm not really a smart man, but I do try to share anything that I've learned through experiences on the trap line and in the woods or on the ice. There's Robbie Mather from Scotland. That just amazes me. Thank you for tuning in. Do you see any signs of lynx where you are? If so, do you think there's a healthy population? So I'm seeing lynx tracks every day. I saw maybe 3 different lynx tracks today. I wouldn't call it a healthy population. We have lynx. We're just at the southern border of where they live, and that happens to cross a federal, a national, international border of U.S. and Canada. So they're not a threatened species. They're not an endangered species. The species is doing great. It's doing fine. They trap them in Alaska. They trap them in Canada. It's just it'd be like us. We have possum now in Maine, and we're at the very, very northern part of their range where possum live now. Never had them as a kid, but they're showing up everywhere. And it'd be like calling possum an endangered species because they've crossed a border into Maine now. It's the species is fine. It's a strong, viable population and strong species, but they crossed a border, so we're going to call them threatened. So possum are as much threatened in Maine as lynx are. So yeah, we could have an open trapping season on lynx. It'd be pretty cool. So yeah. So Poverty Hill wants to know if I'm near Milo. I don't really want to give my location, but no, I'm not near Milo. So Bishop says you got an accent, Bob, or Bud. If you were from Maine, you'd have said Bub probably. But yeah, I don't think I do. So I don't hear it. But yeah. David Hobbs says you and Joe Osgood together are a comic duo. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That guy's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. And we just hit it off. And I've been a fan of his channel for years. And he might have watched an episode of mine or 2 over the years. I don't know. But yeah, he's hilarious, man. I can't even watch that footage without laughing. When I was talking about the Connie pan, you're going to see it. I think Monday it's going to post, but I'll let you guys know about it. It's either Monday or Tuesday. And he already posted it on his channel. So that's how David Hobbs saw this. But I was talking about the Connie pan, the red one I had. And we use political signs for those. And I said it was Susan Collins from 1996, her first run or whatever. And he said, yeah, the old timers, they say, hey, that ain't nothing. I used Abraham Lincoln's or something. Oh my God, I still laugh. That guy's so funny off the cuff. And Down Easters, people from Down East Maine have the best sense of humor in the entire U.S. I've been all over the U.S., everywhere. And it's a way of life in Down East Maine. And the way they talk to each other and talk to people that aren't from there, they're so highly intelligent, no matter how they come across or how it sounds. And it's so funny. And anytime you get to spend time with someone from Down East Maine, it's it's a gem, man. So yeah, we're gonna shoot some more stuff, and we're gonna ice fish and shoot some videos together this year too. So I'm gonna try to get caught up, guys. If I missed your question or comment, it wasn't on purpose. As you can see, I'll even read the bad ones. So if I missed it, then just throw it in there again. But Cole Tarbell wants to explain Martin Fisher limits specifically. If you limit out on Martin, does that stop your ability to go for Fisher? So I'm not a game warden. I spoke with the game wardens this year and last year before the season just to make sure that we were all legal as a trapping team and as partners. But you're allowed 25, and it's either 20 Fisher. No, it's 25 Fisher, I think. It's 25 of each per trapper or trapping partner that you have in your group. In years past, my last year trapping 20 years ago, we kept a Fisher line out, or we went over on the last day because it's impossible to land right on your 25. You could, but if you have 4 traps out, even if you only have 3 or 4 traps out, you're at 24 Martin. If you show up and you catch 4 Martin, that puts you over your limit. Back then, you had to turn them into the department. So you turn that animal in, and they did whatever they wanted with it, whether they sold it or used it for educational purposes or used it with their biologists. So if you go over, you turn them in. Now, it's a kind of a fine line because you can catch 25 martin pretty easy or pretty quick, but you can't catch 25 fisher pretty quick, and fisher come later. So there are some things you can do with your traps, and once you kind of learn martin areas better, you try to avoid them, and just put in fisher areas now. So hope that answers your question. It's a tough one, man. That's a really good question for the game warden service or the department. So 3 o'clock Pollock says, to clarify, northern Moosehead Lake by Sabooma campground at the northern tip. Have you fished that part of the lake? And if so, is it worth a trip? I have. Yep, we did really well with lake trout and salmon there. I don't think we did much for brookies, but we only fished it like 2 different days. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. I don't know many areas on that lake that aren't worth fishing. It's a really cool lake. Aaron Black, thanks for taking my question. Joe, you're doing awesome and living a dream for sure. Keep the videos coming. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a dream come true to me to run a fur trap line in the wilderness of Maine from an off-grid cabin, that we built out of trees that we cut down. So it's an absolute dream come true for me, and I know it's a dream for a lot of other people, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm sharing it, is so other people can live vicariously through my videos and see what it's like if they want to try it, or if they can't try it, if life got in the way. Hopefully this brings them a little bit of closure on that. So Craigar, when an area is cut or harvested, do the fur animals continue to use the same travel ways for a period of time before they feel the need to move on? Yes, I believe they do. And that's something I worked on pretty hard this year. I think you have 1 year. It really depends how hard they cut it or harvest it. Where I am, they can cut it beyond hard. They can devastate an area where I am for the animals. And then they're not even going to travel in it that year. But if they're doing clear cuts, I think it's over. I think it's game over. If they're doing strip cuts, I think you have a year or 2. And if they're doing like select cuts, then those animals will still use those travel ways. So I've been working on it and practicing it and trying different things. So I could tell you a little bit better after the season's over, but Joe and I just caught one this previous check in a pretty open strip cut. Like it surprised me. I sat there because I was curious, and it actually surprised me. So yes, they will use them. Alan Dufresne, how long does trapping season last up there in Maine? So general trapping ends December 31st. So Bishop says, the lake trout Maine have a bad smell. The ones I've caught out of Lake Michigan have the strangest bad smell. Not that I know, not that I noticed. I mean, they're a little bit of an oily meat if you cook it, but I would never call it bad. I mean, I eat it. So Dudley wants to know if we're going to have a special Martin ice cream. We might. We might. You're up here, buddy. We're going to try everything. Oh, man, I'm getting behind on the comments. Sorry, guys. I don't have a lot more time. Oh, man, I'm way behind. All right, so Joe, this is Mariette Marquise. Joe, my husband and I love watching your channel here in New Hampshire. We watch just about every night. Scott says, let's go to camp with Joe. Thank you. I appreciate that. I got like 2 episodes every night coming from here on out, guys. I'm cranking some stuff out, and I really appreciate all the support for the channel. 672 Galaxy says, hey, Joe, love the channel. Just found you a couple months ago. Just watched the cabin build with Brandon and that crew. Great stuff. Thank you. Appreciate that. 3 o'clock Pollock. Got to sign off, but just know best YouTube show going. Oh, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. TR Actual. Good stuff, Joe. Oh, JJ says, loser eats the Rocky Mountain Martin oysters. Dudley. Dudley already called that. We are going to do a Rocky Mountain Martin oyster. I think Dudley actually said the loser has to eat it too. Or maybe we're just going to try them. I don't know. But yeah, good call. You guys are on the same page. Duck Hunter, North Carolina. What do you treat your traps with? Love your videos. So I use Andy Stowe's Speed Dip. I tried Last year I tried that Northwood log crystals. Didn't do well for me. I did not do well on those. But yeah, the Andy Stowe speed dip works the best for me, and it's been great. So you guys hold on 1 second. I'm gonna use the restroom, and I'll be right back. All right. All right, we're back. Little bathroom break. Thanks, guys, for staying with me. Dudley's one of the smartest guys I know. He's a world champion bass fisherman. He's number 2 all time in the history of professional bass fishing. I think 3 or 4 time angler of the year. And he told me a couple of years ago, he said that fishermen, trappers, and hunters have the smallest bladders ever because they just go when they need to go because they're outside all the time. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. So when I'm up here in the North Maine woods and I got to go, I just usually go if it's not near a coyote trap or something like that. And I come out of the woods and my bladder's about this big. I got to run sometimes when I'm in the Walmart until I build it back up. And, you get somebody who sits in an office all day and doesn't take a bunch of bathroom breaks. Their bladder's about like that. And they can really hold their water. But you guys probably weren't planning on talking about that tonight. So let me get back to some questions over here. Loser eats a Rocky Mountain. Okay, yeah, we got that one. Dudley says, I'm 6 years old, not 5. Yeah, he's right. He's got the most energy of anybody I know. And he's so much fun to be around. Yep. Jay Olson, your channel definitely inspired me to trap again after not trapping for 30 years. Your tips and tricks and great information on trap placement. Thank you so much. Man, I appreciate that. I hope you have an awesome year trapping. And I recognize the name from the comments and the questions on the videos as well. Trump DeSantis, the video you did in Presque Isle with Donnie was great. Talking to the guy in the street, showing the town, and reviewing that Chinese restaurant was good content. Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to post that or not. I think it did pretty well with viewers. I think people like that. I mean, we just shoot real life stuff and put it up and see how it does. But yeah, that was a lot of fun for us. That was the nicest we've ever been told that we stink was when that lady told us that her dog in the Chinese place made a weird noise or something. Donnie and I can make a show of it going around to small towns. I agree, man. That'd be so much fun. Lisa Burrish, want a pike this year? Any thoughts? You want a pike this year, I'm guessing. And I'm going to catch pike this year. I know that. But the Belgrade Lakes, Cobbessy Lake, Central Maine, Anabescook Lake, those are all great pike lakes. I would keep, if you want to eat one, which you should, because it might be the best eating fish in Maine. It's 5 million times better than eating a brook trout or a salmon, especially stock trout. But keep like a 4 to 8 pounder. You don't have to keep a big one. Like a 4 to 8 pounder is really good table fare. Pike are so good to eat. Like people have no idea, and I forgot how good they were till Donnie and I did one last year. Oh, Dave Hobbs, Joe, what's a ballpark number on what it costs for you to trap a whole season minus the traps? All right, we're going to take out the snowmobile probably too, right? Boy, that's a great question. I tried to figure it out last year. So last year I did about $2,000 repairs in my snowmobile and about $2,000 repair in my truck. And those are highly trapping related, highly trapline related. Even if you only took 70% of that because of the age on those vehicles or whatever, or other usage on them, you're still looking at cost incurred. Gas is not cheap. It's like $300 every 8 to 10 days if I'm running a crazy line, like a big line. I've slowed way down since we took our foot off the gas and started pumping the brakes. So I'm not burning through that much gas now. Bait is free. Lures, I might spend $100 on lures. What am I missing? I guess I spend $200 on lure. Yes, it's like fuel. Fuel's the biggest expense. So I'll probably spend between $2,000 and $4,000 on gas to run the Trapline, and I will spend between $2,000 and $4,000 on repairs or maintenance on the Trapline, and then just other trapping supplies, not counting traps, because you kind of accrue those. I would say like a $500 budget for other supplies on the Trapline. So yeah, hope that helps. Jay Olson, we can only live trap in Washington State, so going to be very interesting. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that. That's wild, man. That's crazy. Guys do well with Fisher in live traps, and I've heard Bobcat too. So good luck, man. Travis from Parkman, love your video, Joe. Definitely live vicariously through you. Thanks for taking me on your adventures. My pleasure. Thanks for tuning in, for the comments, for when you guys hit the thumbs up. It's surprising how much better YouTube does when you get a bunch of thumbs up or comments. So I appreciate you guys doing the simplest thing you can on the channel. So Pine State Trapper, there he is. Joe, you're doing great things for our trapping community, Joe. However, there's a pressing argument I need you to settle. Is brown bread a great trapline breakfast? It is, man. It's like, if you throw it in a pan with butter, it's phenomenal. And for the breakfast, like the raisin one is actually a little better for breakfast. But I eat it for dessert, and usually there's enough in the can left over for a couple days, and then just heat it up for breakfast and take it with you. Throw it in a bag or throw it in your pocket. Or if you don't make it into too much of a hockey puck, overcooking it, then yeah, it's a phenomenal trapline fare. Poverty Hill Adventures, I love that name. Enjoy your channel quite a bit. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Chipmunk Range, longtime viewer. Very cool. I don't recognize the name, but very cool. Thank you. Everfish, New Hampshire. You know, I don't even know if I've opened one or fished New Hampshire. That's how weird that is. I don't think I have. No, I'd like to. I heard they got some massive crappie in some small ponds in New Hampshire. But that'd be pretty cool. Thank you. Yeah. Mud Rager RC, you're the best from Metro Detroit. Oh, man, thank you. From Metro Detroit. I would never, ever think someone was tuning in from Metro Detroit. Thank you. Unless that's Detroit, Maine. Metro Detroit, Maine. TR Actual. It's about the one-liners down east. It truly is. Yeah, there's a lot of... And you get 2 or 3 together, man. It's incredible. Ben Cluster, do you eat ice cream at the off-grid cabin? What's your favorite flavor? I do not. No. When I come up here trapping, I'm just so far out of shape, guys, that I try to eat a lot healthier. I cut down sugars to just about none, cut down the carbs, and I don't really have access to ice cream up here right now. Maybe I'll get some. I don't know. But favorite flavor, probably, it changes all the time back home because I have about 60 flavors in stock, but is like a coffee or coffee-based are always great. Jimmy says, bring on the hard water. It's here, buddy. Let's go. Tim Snell is watching from the Adirondacks. Love the show. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for all the comments. Woodchuck Man, do you trap bear and bobcat? I do not. I've never trapped bear, and we don't have any bobcat at all where I've trapped. We do have them down home where I live. They're really doing well. The population's getting good. A guy could do really well trapping bobcat down there. But I'd say like Bangor South, we have a pretty good bobcat population. And I'd say Bangor North, we have a pretty good bear population. I think I might trap bear next year. It's a big undertaking, so I haven't decided if I want to do that or not. But I like eating them enough, so maybe I should. Oh, all right. Oh, I lost a bunch of spots. Okay, there you go. Joe, will you be doing any ice camping this coming year? Tons of ice camping, guys. Tons of ice camping. Stay tuned. Jay Olson, we can trap martin, but Fisher is protected in Washington. What would you recommend as a good martin to stay away from Fisher? I mean, you could keep most of your Fisher out if you did like a 3-inch hole at the front of your trap. I don't know if that's feasible with the live traps. I guess you could still do it, but you'd keep Fisher out if you went like 3.5 inch. You'd keep Fisher out for sure, and a martin could get in like a 3-inch hole pretty easy. He's not going to have any trouble getting in a 3.5 inch hole. Dana Noble. Looks like a very good year on the line. A buddy of mine just drove to Alaska with his sled dogs to run a line for lynx, martin, and wolf. He'll be filming the whole thing on his channel. The beaver retriever, nice. That's something I might do down the road. I'd love to run a lynx and wolf line. That'd be awesome. There's Burks Outdoors. Good evening. TR Actual. Keep Vermont in mind this year, bub. Hit some smaller lakes, Averill, etc. Will do. Yep, definitely will do. And if Champlain freezes pretty good, that's the lake trout fishing out there is crazy good. Paul Oman, Minnesota. Fisher opens next weekend. I can't wait. Thanks for all your tips and tricks. Yeah, good luck, man. I know you guys are pretty heavily restricted on like the amount of traps or the amount of Fisher you can catch. So I'm really wishing you guys good luck, and I know it's a short season. Hey, Burke's brother, Lewis D. Brown. Burke's Outdoors. I've learned a lot from you. Been with you for years. Great channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jay Olson, we need to get you to 1,000 subs. Hit that like and hype the videos to increase the algorithm. Man, I appreciate that. That'd be cool. I'm not 100% sure why I don't have more subscribers, but the subscribers I have are great, and they support the channel. They watch a lot of it, so I'm happy with that. But Robbie Mather, excuse my ignorance, Joe. You say the Fisher come later. Can you explain that a bit more, please? Do they migrate to your area from somewhere? No, they're here the whole time. They are more susceptible to going into a trap the later in the season it is. They cover huge ranges where I'm trapping in the North Maine woods. It's like a 30-day return if you miss one or see one. That's how big their territory is. I usually catch, like last year, I caught 20% of our Fisher in November, and the other 80% came in December. And out of that 80%, 75% of those probably came in the last 10 days of the season. So, if the state made me an offer and said, hey, you give us 4 weeks in November to not trap Fisher, and we'll give you 1 week in January to trap Fisher, I'd take that in a heartbeat if I wanted to stack Fisher, because they're way more susceptible to traps. I think they visit traps, with my trail cams early in the season, but they got a full belly. The hunting's really easy for them. And then I think the hunting becomes harder. There's less food available later in the season. Once the brooks freeze up, the lakes freeze up, the beaver dams freeze up, get snow covered, you get a crust of snow, the mice, voles, all that stuff is under the snow. The nuts, berries are no longer, visible. They're all under the snow. So I think they lose a huge, huge, huge amount of their feed later in the season. And that's why they're more susceptible to coming into a box, and they're hunting more. It's colder. They're going to need to get more calories, and they travel more, or maybe they don't travel more, but they travel, in their travels. If you have your traps out, you do way better where I live later in the season on Fisher. It's through experience, it's through my experience, and that's my theory on why, and it makes sense to me. So I'm going to keep going with it. But, talking to some other trappers who I respect, they don't even set up till after Thanksgiving because they know they're going to catch their marten, and they really are after fishers. So hopefully that answers that. So there's Ashton's Outdoors. Welcome, buddy. JJ says the one, I agree 100%. The Presque Isle trip was pretty great, and it breaks it up. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing stuff like that too, as you can see. Travis LaRosa. Joe, how did Audrey like the chaga, and did it help him? Just curious. Audrey. Must be Dudley. You must be talking about Dudley. I think he liked it. Dudley loves mushrooms. He loves everything natural. And if he's still tuned in, maybe he'll comment on that. We'll cook up some chaga when he's up here too. Ashton Outdoors, first pike I ate was 6-pounder, perfect. That's a good eater size. And he's got 6 Belle Isle 120s. Going to be here on Monday and just figured out my board situation for the boxes this afternoon. Good for you, buddy. Nice. Heather Gibson. So the Chinese food wasn't that good. I don't want to hurt anybody's business, but nah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. But from the people who got back to me that live there, they said it's hit or miss. Like you can go in and it's really good one day, and then another day it's not that good. But probably not going to go back. So Robbie Mather, I thought it was only beer cans you caught when you're out ice fishing with friends. Yeah, I don't drink. A lot of people are surprised, but I've never had a beer, never had a drink of alcohol in my life. And but yeah, my buddies have a lot of fun when they're out. I have fun too fishing, but I don't drink. Mark Larson, there he is. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. Trying to get caught up on these comments, guys. If I missed anybody, just feel free to throw it back on there. There we go. Was the camp all gone in on with you and a few friends? Yeah, we have there's 3 of us that own the camp. One guy owns it. One guy owns it on paper, and one guy has no claim to it. That's me. So yeah, it's, I guess, like a personal thing on that, but you know, it's me, Stevie, and Donnie. Hopefully that answers your question. Ashton likes every outdoor. Thank you for the videos. Dave Hobb, thanks for answering. Just running a hobby line is expensive. Yeah, I mean any trap line's expensive, but any hobby is expensive, right? Like it costs money to go bowling. It costs money to do just about anything you love to do. So if you find something that you love to do and it's trapping, throw every dollar you have at it. You know, if you find what your passion is, all dollars are just fun tokens. So have fun with it. Brown bread grilled with vanilla ice cream is a bomb dessert. Man, I've never had that. That sounds awesome. Brown bread, totally New England, 3 o'clock Pollock. I think it is. You should make your own snow ice cream. I agree. I've been trying to do that for a couple of years. I just keep forgetting to get all the supplies for it, like rock salt and that stuff. But you're right. I should make some not yellow snow ice cream, but yeah, maybe when Dudley's up, we'll do that. Harlan McLean says you got to steam that brown bread. I've never had it steamed. That sounds interesting to me. I love throwing it in a pan with some butter. Travis LaRosa, love the videos. Watch every episode from Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Tired Redneck, do you own any flintlock guns? I do not. Jaybird Outdoors, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Trapper Fanatic, Trapping Stories, Wisconsin. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Great. Thanks for tuning in. Don't let you hype your videos, Harlan said. I don't know anything about the hype, guys. I'm actually learning the hype thing. I've been having some people tell me that they're hyping my videos, so other people are able to. You only get like so many hype points a week or something. I don't know the whole thing yet. I got to learn about it. MH says, enjoying the series again this year, Joe. Hope to see you at the St. Paul Ice Show sometime. I'm not going to make it out to St. Paul this year. The show's going on like this week, and I just can't leave the trap line. I can't justify driving or flying out there for that. So David says, thanks for the live stream tonight. Say hi to Donnie. Will do. Tired Redneck, you got to write a book on trapping. It would be epic. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be a legacy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, where are we? There we are. Joe, you ever do, this is William Kirby, any fishing up by the camp or they closed ice fishing? You said on better, most have gotten rid of the crud. I did get rid of the crud. I feel incredible. Thank you. I haven't ice fished from camp yet, but it was on our list last year. We're going to make it happen this year. We're going to ice fish from camp this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. And obviously we'll shoot videos and share it with you guys. Tired Redneck, get Donnie's info on there. Oh, in the book, of course. Yeah. Travis LaRosa was Dudley. Yep. Jay Olson, if you're ever in Washington State, 16 September, I'll take you sturgeon fishing. Sturgeon slot limits 55 to 63. That would be cool. That might be worth a trip back out west. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, that would be cool. Lost where I was in the comments, guys. I'm going to try to get caught up on these comments real quick. Gary Williams, if the state wanted to hire you as an independent consultant for fisheries and wildlife representing the common Maine sportsman, would you be willing? Absolutely, without a doubt. The State Department does not like me. I have a great relationship with the Warden Service, but not with many of the biologists or with the political people in the department. I don't know why. I'm pretty easy to get along with. Maybe I run my mouth too much. I guess calling them out on a lot of really, really, really poor decisions with fisheries and wildlife. They don't like being called out, and they're like weathermen, where they can show up to their job and get it wrong every single day, and they're not even in the same class as weathermen, because a weatherman people at least make fun of them for getting it wrong. But yeah, I don't know, but I'd be all for it for sure. Zach Phelps, where's Dudley? Dudley's in Maine. He's going to be coming up to the camp pretty soon. You don't have to drink to have a good time. I agree, Harlan. Thank you. JJ says, I get a kick out of the 350 of returnables at the end of the tip up. Funny stuff. Yeah, that was hilarious. I had to post that. It didn't do well for my channel, and I lost a bunch of subscribers for some reason, but they can go if they don't like that type of stuff or can't stomach it. Greened out said he drove up to Brasso near Moosehead the other day and was excited to see some ice. Hoping I can get out there soon. I bet. We're going to have some good ice this year, guys. Ned says you can only hype 3 times a week. Okay, thank you, Ned, for clearing that up. Harlan says, I tried to hype it, and it doesn't show up on yours. Huh, weird. Oh, all right, Mark said you can only hype it if you're watching it on a phone. Okay, I'm learning too, guys. Thank you. And Jay Olson uses his 3 weekly hypes on my videos. Man, thank you. I appreciate that. Robbie Mather, it was a joke, Joe. I saw a short of yours when you tied a load of beer cans to your buddy's fishing line, then put his flag up. Yeah. No, I just posted a video yesterday on ice fishing prank with that video. So check her out. Joe, you got to get that last out and get another monster brookie. That was an epic vid. Yes, there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to have a lass up here on the trap line for a week or two. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the videos turn out. Heather says ice fishing from camp sounds awesome. Excited to see the videos. I am too. I'm actually really excited about that. Maybe the most for ice fishing season. Black and Gold says I've gotten into it in Nebraska biologist many times. Yeah, man, it's the one job where you can show up and be wrong every day. You can mess up things for generations and for decades, and there's no recourse. It's crazy. It's crazy. But Tired Redneck. In the old times, Joe, did the trappers ever use drag snare for the marten fishermen? Do you know when it became regulated? I don't know that. I'm sure they used footholds. I don't know if they use drags. I used to use drags on coyotes in footholds, but now we're not allowed to use them up here. Oh, there's Fisher. Yeah. Rick Robitaille, your videos are awesome. Keep them coming. I will. Thank you. I appreciate that. My second act, Steve, says, I miss Donnie. Who misses Donnie more than me? You're preaching to the choir. Greened out. I'm on a phone. How can I hype it? I don't know. I really don't know much about the hype stuff, guys, but I appreciate when you guys thumbs up, comment, or hype a video. So if you could help out Greendale in the comments, if you guys know what you're doing with the hype stuff, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, Ashton says, if you swipe right from the comments, you could hype on a phone. I give Joe all 3 of mine each week. Man, thank you. I appreciate that, guys. You guys are awesome. And then Cascade says, what's the hype do for your channel? It's new to YouTube, and it's really new to me, but I think it puts my videos like I guess it gives smaller content creators like myself a chance to get in front of more viewers. So if more people are hyping it, YouTube puts it in front of more viewers if you are a small channel like myself. Pine State Trapper, I run a pike derby here on North Pond, and people are already out getting that fishing itch already. There you go. Harlan says, should be making some ice. I had 7 below the other night. Yeah, I had 12 below. It was awesome. Jay watches on an iPad and has hypes. Recent videos of Joe says, older videos, the hype button is not active. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting us know. Hypes might only apply to regular videos, not lives. Oh, yeah. I think that's probably how it goes. Tess says, Donnie's a one of a kind. Couldn't agree more. Spovic says, any more ice fishing collabs in the plans? It was good to see some folks at the meetup a few years ago, and cool to see you with FBM Maine Outdoor Journal. Yes. Several collabs this year. Collaborations. Definitely going to do one with FBM with Joe. You'll see Brandon and KBC, KFC indoors on the channel this year. Sean from Jack Traps. And then maybe some new ones too. We'll see, guys. Tired Redneck Joe, how much did it all cost to make that sweet-looking Ushanka hat? I'm guessing that the fur hat. So we did a bunch of hats for us. That's a tough call, man. I mean, I want to say it's like $100 to get it knitted up, but that's just the final product is to get it sewed up and made into that hat. Before that, it cost me, I think, like $18 a pelt to get tanned, and there's 10 pelts there. And then if you had to buy the marten, which I have money invested into catching the marten, it's really hard to put a number on it. It's probably well over $1,000 for that hat, but whatever. I like it. Keeps me warm, and I have no problem wearing fur. Tired Redneck, they're epic looking. Harlan McCain helps push the videos. Thank you. Jay Olson, Joe has to miss Donnie. No donuts or goulash or great food, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yep. Hype shows up for subscribers, I think. Joe, that ice fishing. David said, Joe, that ice fishing video with Pat and Donnie and his grandson was hilarious. I have watched it several times. Yeah, that was the Lobster Lake series. If anybody's looking for a cool video series, check out, I think it was called like Blue Ribbon Trout Fishery or something like that. Ashton Outdoors. If there's anybody more collabs going on here in the channel soon, if so, can you throw some hints out there? Maybe one with Ashton's Outdoors this year. I don't know. We'll see. Ontario's got -15. Now, is that with the exchange rate or not? Trapper Fanatic, thank you for helping me out. Finally got my first marten of the season. Thanks for your videos. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I'm so proud and happy for you. That's awesome. Doug Mushorn. It will be interesting if you decide to trap beaver this year. Always great stuff. I think I'm gonna trap some beaver this year. I was thinking about it quite a bit today. Lisa Beerish, impressed with the meal prep when you ice camp. Thank you. It's a big part of the ice fishing thing. And yeah, it's a huge part of it. I love it. Jack Plain says, any chance you'll ice fish Lower Wilson? Well, I don't really know Lower Wilson at all. So if it's the Wilson near Monmouth, there's a chance because they have huge pike. Lisa says, Donnie's a treasure. He's the whole treasure trove. Dave Fecto, Joe, did you crawl in that bear den yet? Maybe that could be some. Waiting, I think, for Dudley to come up. I got to have somebody pull me out by my feet if he wakes up and I'm in that bear den. But I did go look at it the other day. I put the camera in it, and I haven't watched the footage. I need to watch the footage tonight. Joe, you need to go on the show alone, like William Larkin Jr. of the Big Land. I got invited to go on a couple shows, like Discovery shows. And I got a lot going on, so it didn't really work out. Are you going to beaver trap this year? 3:00 bull. I think I am going to do some beaver trap this year. I wanted to kind of do some beaver trap and ice fishing combined. That'd be kind of fun. Dave says, do it when Dudley shows up. I agree. Maybe I'll send him in there in the Bears Den. Tyler Abrams says, ask Molly if she's going to come relive her cross-country coaching days on the Trapline. Yeah, that'd be awesome. She's got an open invite. Jay Olson is currently watching Donnie making the cabinet series. All I can say is, holy crap, is he talented? Yeah, he's so talented, man. Wait till you see the upper cabinets next year, I bet. $3:00 Pollux says, start the biddings at $450 for the hat. TR Actual, nobody does live shows like you, Joe. Thanks for your time. It's my pleasure, guys. Like, I've always kind of prided myself in replying to everybody's comments on the channel and in the videos, but I don't have the time right now, and I'm getting behind, and the channel's growing, and I'm getting a lot more comments. So I think the best way to do it is right here in the lives, and try to, like, I really appreciate all the comments, and it helps the regular videos get out there. But I'm having a hard time getting to everybody, properly. So this gives me a really good chance to interact and answer questions as they pop up. And we can actually, have follow-ups here too. And I can better explain myself on some stuff. Mark loves the pelts I got from you. They look beautiful in my man cave. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I think that was a really cool thing, and I really appreciate everyone who supported the channel last year and bought tanned pelts from the channel, from the Trapline. And Mark, I remember that Mark Larson got those, and everybody last year. It was really good. And we're going to do it again this year. So if anybody wants a pelt from the Trapline, a tan pelt, we are going to sell them at the end of the year, but we have to ship them out to a tannery first and pay to get them tanned and back. So if anybody's interested, shoot me an email on that. Ashton said that'd be legendary. Man, $1,000 is a lot, but goodness, I would pay something like that. Looks so epic, and bet it's as warm as could be. Yeah, tired redneck. Yeah. I haven't been cold in it, and when I get back to the truck, a lot of times I have to take it off because it's pretty warm when you're in the truck. But it's an amazing hat, and the Martin one is so lightweight. It's crazy how nice that is. Like, I was even really surprised with how awesome that Martin hat is. The coyote one, I'm going to have to just wear when I'm ice fishing, I think, or it's really cold out, because I think that's going to be super warm. Tired redneck, I think Wolf and Wolverines is what they use for parka hoods because it doesn't frost up. So I know Wolverine doesn't frost up. I think Wolf will still frost up, but Wolverine doesn't frost up. And that's like kind of bucket list for me, trapping. Like, I'd like to trap a Wolverine. That would be incredible. Bishop said, is Dudley bringing the old lady again this year? I'll let him answer that one for you. Yeah. All right. Robbie Mather says, thanks for taking the time to sit down with us, answering questions. Really appreciate the interaction. Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all my subscribers. If you guys are here and you're not subscribed, just hit the subscribe button. It's going to be free for the rest of the day. Let's do that. You get a free subscription to the channel for the rest of the day. And all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. If you don't know how, call your grandkids, call your kids, and ask them how to do it. They'll walk you through it. But all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody here that did that already. So, Lower Wilson and Greenville. Nope, I haven't fished that, Jack. Oh, I got a new episode up right now, guys. So so no more comments, no more questions. I'm going to just try to finish up these ones that are here, and we'll go over and watch that new episode, because I got 2 new episodes popping tonight. I think I have an ice fishing one coming up right after the trapping one. And the trapping one's a really good one. It's got some good trail cam footage. It's like a 50-minute one tonight. You're not going to want to miss that. It's way more interesting than me sitting in front of the computer talking to you guys. So, Jay, the shelf's holding up perfect. Beaver trapping and make beaver coat. That'd be pretty cool. Once ain't enough. Thanks for your time. Awesome. My pleasure. Thanks so much. Tess says, thank you much for the videos. I can imagine how much work is behind when you do all by yourself. It's a lot of work. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing that. Once again ain't enough. Can't wait to get a pelt. Thank you. I appreciate that. Michael Bruyette said he'd wear a skunk hat. I have a skunk hat. Yeah, we're going to be wearing it. Jay says, if beaver trapping works out next season, I'll be making you beaver and buckskin gauntlet mittens. That would be cool. That'd be cool. What's your email wanting a fisher pelt? So my email's in every video. It's in the description, but it's jhprofishing@gmail.com. Whoa, somebody just dropped a $20 bill. Thank you, guys. Holy cow, I appreciate that. That's going to go to the gas fund. Where did you get your carved moose on the north cabin? That's impressive. Yeah, got it at a junk sale this fall. It's when I saw it, I was like, oh boy, my wallet's going to take a hit, and I got it for a really good price. I would have paid a lot more than I paid for it, and it fits the cabin perfectly. So thank you for that. My second act, Steve says, don't be a bum, hit that thumb. Thank you. We're getting down there. Once ain't enough. Thanks for your time. Stay safe and good luck. Man, thank you so much for the super chat. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. A lot of the guys that shoot lives, I think that's how they make like most of their money from their channel is through like the super chats and stuff, like the gamers and stuff, but I'm no gamer. So make sure to hit the thumbs up, Mark said. Thank you. Tired Rednecks and Joe, thank you. Appreciate it. Ashton Outdoors, you should do a long episode with one line where every box has a different bait wired in the back. It'd be tough to do. Could be possible, but it'd be tough to do. Nathan L. Mondi says, Joe, just had your famous Lewiston lobsters. Yeah, we might have some T-shirts coming out. Call Jack Traps. Ask him how that T-shirt's coming. He's going to be so mad that I just said that. But we're going to have some T-shirts over at Jack Traps from the channel. And one of them is going to be the Lewiston Lobster Company. It's going to be hilarious. You guys are going to love it. So, whoa. Man, the super chat's coming. Chipmunk, thank you so much. That's crazy. Whoa, man. You guys are unbelievable. Thank you so much. Harlan McLean said, had a wolverine up here. The kids thought it was a bear cub last winter. I had a fisher up here that wouldn't stay out of my garbage. Whoa. Well, we don't have any wolverine in Maine, so must not be in Maine, but we do have fisher. Chipmunk Range says, watched every video, but didn't realize likes and comments help that much. Yeah, it's like, I'm not a YouTube, student, I guess. Like, I don't really know, but I just go by what everybody else says. And they said that, like, thumbs ups and comments help get it in the algorithm more to other people. So it helps to get it in front of other people. And whether they watch it or not, I guess is up to them. Doug Mushroom says, thanks. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you. I appreciate that. It came out. I came out of it as quick as I went into it. Tom Howland says, great channel. Joe, looking forward to the ice fishing videos. Thank you. We got at least one ice fishing video the next couple nights. I'll do my part and like and comment more. Chipmunk said, thank you. I appreciate that. Chipmunk Range, thank you so much. And once ain't enough. Thank you so much for the super chats, guys. That's amazing. Thank you. Randy says, you getting that truck fixed up soon? Hopefully. Yeah, it was. If you're just tuning in, guys, I got into some pretty thick snow today, like over 10 inches. And I was out of my comfort zone. And my comfort zone's a lot different than most people. But I'm down to two-wheel drive. Lost my front end. Lost my front diff. There might be like one tooth left for emergencies. Joe from FBM Maine Outdoor Journal, he said it's like the women in Corinth, I think. It's one tooth left. But Yeah, I got into some tough stuff today, and I was out of my comfort zone in a couple spots. I didn't know if I was going to be hoofing it home 20 miles or not, but I got out of it. Used a little bit of brute force ignorance and a little bit of experience. So I'm just waiting for the front diff to get here. It's getting shipped to a mechanic, and it's a little bit too big of a job for me to do in the dooryard right now with sub-zero temperatures. So hopefully this week we're getting fixed back up and good as new. But I did order some new tires. My tires are good, but I ordered some snow tires, a little bit more aggressive with studs in it, and a fellow trapper is helping me out on that. I'll shoot that episode too if you guys want to see the going to town stuff and the repair stuff, and if those people are good with being on film, maybe I'll shoot some of that stuff too for you. Yeah, but yeah, thank you. So. Trapper fanatic, just like you, I'm starting to make videos myself and give my stories out to other people. Thank you for teaching me and other people. My pleasure, man. There's nothing more rewarding for me to see other channels do well and people that want to start a YouTube channel start it. Like I've always said, there's 3 things for me making a video that are important to me. And if I could hit all 3 of these things in a video, I consider it a good video. And, the first is educate, second is inspire, and the third is to entertain, and if it's just an entertaining video, I could care less. There's enough people doing that stuff on YouTube. But if you can inspire somebody, I think you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing. And if you could help share some knowledge that you've either been rewarded with or gained through experience, then I think you're doing the right thing. So I'm hoping you guys see that in my videos when I shoot them and put them together, and I feel good about a video and think it's a good video if I could hit all 3. If I could hit 2 out of the 3, it's still a pretty good video, and as a minimum, I try to hit 1 out of those 3. So if you could help educate, if you can inspire, and if you can entertain, keep those 3 things in mind when you're making a video, then I think you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing. So. Whoa, man, Mark. Thank you so much, Mark Larson, for the super chat. This is crazy, guys. You guys are unbelievable. Thank you guys for the support. That's going to go a long way to the truck repair, believe me. Man, I hope I didn't miss any. If I missed anybody's questions or comments, just put them in there again. I'm not missing anybody on purpose. Joe, are those Maine backwoods water skis behind you? Oh, no, those are Fisher. These ones here. These are Fisher all dried out, scun and dried out on the board. So yeah, they look like, I like that. Larry Marshall, curious on what the motor the old Yukon has, and it's the 5.3 or the 5.2 V8. Also loving the trapping and ice fishing videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Jim Adams. Sorry, Jim. I've been enjoying your channel. Ready for some ice fishing. Perfect. You're going to get a awesome banger of a video tonight, and even better one coming up with a 20-pound lake trout caught through the ice in Maine. Robbie Mathers, Chipmunk, good job, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys so much. Jay Olson, I subscribed 2 months ago, and the subs have gone up, I think, 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, Jay. I get analytics that you guys don't get to see, but it gives you like 28-day analytics, and we've picked up, I think, 1,100 subs in the last 28 days. So I couldn't be happier with that, and it's a really good. It's a good way for me to tell if I'm doing a good job, I guess, on the channel, is if you're picking up subs and new viewers, and I'm not in, this channel's not for everybody, guys. It's trapping, it's ice fishing, it's Maine, it's hunting, it's me, Donnie. But, the people that follow it are great and very loyal viewers that watch whenever they can. And obviously, as you could see, huge supporters of the channel. So maybe I won't ever hit 100,000 subs. Maybe I'll never hit, 60,000 or whatever. But I'm stoked with the subs that I have, because I really think that I have the best subs, because, the views I'm getting every day are very, very good, very good. So There's Mark Larson to help with the trucks fix. Thank you so much, Mark. You are the best. Man, that's incredible. Scott says, would love to see in-town Maine life too. Yeah, I think the next time I go out, I'm going to shoot a video. And yeah, Tom Howland says, yes, repair videos would be great. There's a chance, guys, that I'm gonna free. Oh, I can't see that. There's a chance when I go out to do the repair that my mechanic's probably not going to want me in the shop, and I might go to a local diner and like sit and edit videos. But I'm going to talk to that diner and see if they mind if I invite viewers to come say hello. Because if I'm there for 8 hours, I know I could sit there and edit videos and get a bunch of content out. But it might be cool to eat breakfast or lunch and dinner if it's an 8-hour fix with subscribers. But I don't want to like inundate. I don't want to overwhelm the diner either. So I got to talk to them first. And then I might put that out there. I'd shoot a live like a day or two before and say, hey, come see me at this diner. As long as you guys support the business too, because I'm a small business owner. And, small business owners, especially in northern Maine, it's a tough go. So I'll talk to them first and okay it, because I don't want to put them in a bad situation either, and then just see if they're cool with that. And while my truck's getting fixed, we can meet and see how it goes. Might be cool. I don't know. While I was in there getting diagnosed, I was actually eating at a diner, and I did meet with a bunch of people that had no idea I was there, and it was really cool for me, and I think it was cool for them. And yeah, it was cool. So, Jay Olson, all your videos and content are amazing. Share everything that you're comfortable with sharing. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jay. JJ says, great support. Thank you. Randy Marcotte, I like seeing some of the everyday stuff you do too. Pretty cool to follow. Thank you. Appreciate that. Robbie says, good job, Mark Larson. Thank you. Lisa says, the aerial stuff, do you manage the drone? Yes, I do. And I'm actually charging the drone back up. I haven't been able to run it because my old phone couldn't hook up to the drone anymore because the port got gunked up or whatever. But now that I have a new phone, I'm excited to get some more drone footage for you guys. So ocean ain't enough, or not ocean. Once ain't enough. I'm getting tired, I think. Definitely repair videos. You'll like winter tires and studs. Just got some Nokian Hackapalitas. They're awesome. Yeah, I'm running Nokian. I think the Outpost or Nokian on my truck or the regular tires. Best tires I've ever had. I've had them for 3 years, but the ones that you could stud for the Nokians didn't look aggressive enough for me to still run the Trapline. So I was a little bit worried about that. So I'm going to spend some money, and I got a really good deal too, but I'm getting some good years. First set of good years I've ever owned in my life. We'll see. Normally I'm a good buyer type of guy, not a good year type of guy, but we'll see, guys. We'll see. Ashton says he's doing a collaboration with somebody Saturday. Have you ever fished Pushaw? Pushaw is the one I haven't fished. Nope. Tim Bailey, have you ever considered a side-by-side for the Trapline? So it's out of my price range, and you're not allowed four-wheelers or side-bys up here that aren't that don't have tracks on them. So I think from the people I've talked to, like, it'd be really hard getting around with tracks, and you're limited to a certain speed. And I don't think a side-by-side could compete with a snowmobile, to be honest with you, up here in the North Maine woods. JJ says, you're doing an amazing job. Keep it up, and they'll come for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. This channel's always been one step at a time and slow growth, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Mark says, thank you, Robbie. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. David L. Joe, to see Donnie put on that skunk hat and see how he laughed was the greatest. Man, we had so many awesome Donnie moments this year. Go ahead, put it in the comments. I'll stay on here a little longer. Put in the comments if you had a favorite Donnie moment from this year. And maybe I could, if I get time to do like a pull together all the favorite Donnie moments and put a video together, maybe I'll do that. And I'll let you guys know who are tuned into this. Donnie's actually shooting video for us, and he's sending it to me with updates from his trip. So I'm going to post those for you guys and get you Donnie updates as his trip goes and from his trip. So you're going to get Donnie updates this year in each video. So I'm pretty stoked about that. At 83, he's learning how to run an iPhone and send videos. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I wanted you guys to know about that first before I post them. And if you had a favorite Donnie moment, let me know, because I can't even think. I had so many favorite Donnie moments. All my moments with Donnie are my favorite, but there were some that just killed me. They kill me. They're just. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a lot off camera too, obviously. Yeah. So if you had a favorite Donnie moment, put it in, and maybe I'll put a video together of each. Like I'll try to throw it like our viewers' favorite Donnie moments from this season or last season or from the channel, because I save all the footage for stuff like that. So ND Mike, since you're scaling back a bit, since you don't want to tag out, are you going to chase a big buck? So the deer season just ended today or yesterday. So I won't be chasing a buck. I could go down central Maine and muzzle load for another week, but I'm okay with it. Perfectly fine with it. I think since I'm scaling down, I might scale up some otter and beaver, and then also shoot some cool videos for you guys. I'll run a probably sleep in the otter sled again, run a fire trap line for Fisher, and do like an overnight again. I'm just waiting for a cold, super ridiculously cold night. And I'll shoot like another firewood video, and Dudley's coming up, and a couple other trapping buddies are coming up. So I think I'll be busy and maybe put together some better content for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. Trapper Fanatic. Oh, I just lost the comment. Oh, there he says, I hunt, fish, trap, and much more. I also do sports and try to do music. Also, whoa, holy, somebody just sent a monstrous super chat. Whoa. Thank you, guys. Oh, my gosh. I got 3 o'clock poll. Man, you guys are blowing my mind right now. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I can say. I'm mind blown. Thank you so much. Trapper Fanatic. Entertain others. Teach people and help people. Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Connor Cudgeno. Do you think I will have better luck with shiners or worms for brookies? Going to try both on my tip-ups. Worms, man. Go to my YouTube channel, or just on your YouTube when we're done here, and just type in like Joe Holland, brook trout, moosehead, and you're going to see when I learned how potent worms are for brook trout through the ice. And it's way better than shiners and smelt, in my opinion. Harlan says, what do you use for a drone? I have a DJI Mini 2. It's you don't need a license to fly it because it's only 249 grams. So it's considered like a toy, I guess. Cascade says puts up a awesome mark. 228, little Bubba. I was just up to my machine at mile 49 on the Pinkham. Beautiful day up there today. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate that. Pusha got ruined with pike. I love pike, but it ruined the nature integrity of the lake. Yep. 228, little Bubba. Call it Donnieisms. Oh, okay. All right, Donnieisms. Okay. I'm with you now, guys. My second ex Steve says, I just like seeing you make him laugh. Yeah, man, it's like my favorite thing. It's the easiest thing in the world. He's quick to laugh. He's got the best laugh ever. He's top notch. Lisa said every time he laughed, his sense of humor is classic. It really is. Yeah. The Donnie mirror stick. That was pretty funny. I used it today twice, and I talk to it every time. I say, hey, Donnie, you mind getting that mirror? Oh, yeah. Push the mirror out. That offended a couple of viewers, but don't take offense. Yeah. Once ain't enough. The trap line into The Trapline intro is my favorite Donnie thing. Great idea, pure class. Thank you. He didn't like it. He didn't like the intro. He's like, I don't know if he's shy on it or what his deal was, but he said he didn't like it, but I loved it. The viewers loved it. So how could you go wrong? Ashton's Outdoors liked when Donnie and I caught that big fox together. That was pretty cool. Yep. TR Actual, still not sure you're going to make it through the season without Donnie's Donuts. Man, I agree. I should have vacuum sealed a whole bunch of them. I'll make some. How's that sound? I got all the stuff right over here. Randy Marquette, I had a good laugh when he was chipping ice off the running boards. And the whelp? Yeah, those are actually two of my favorites from this year too. The how he gets people, he gives them the hint that they've overstayed their welcome past bedtime. The old well. I love it when he does that. We were doing that back and forth after that came to light. We did it to each other the whole year. It was so much fun. And then he didn't chip that ice off. He beat it off with an axe. It's hilarious. I was in checking my trap and I'm hearing boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I get out there and he's like just smashing that truck with the axe. I loved it. A funny Donnie moments video would be awesome, Heather said. I think it would be too. You're only allowed 25 martin and 25 fishers per season, right? Correct. That is correct. Per trapper. Yep. 3 o'clock Pollock. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is above and beyond what I can provide to you guys for entertainment or inspiration or education. Thank you so much. MH says, my favorite Donnie moment was at the Chinese place when he uses his knife to cut his food and says, it's never been cleaned. It adds flavor. Yeah, me too. That was awesome. ND Mike, Joe, I'm with you. Any Donnie moments, my favorite. I really like his cooking stuff. I know. I got to get him to put that cookbook together. He is just kind of starting to learn and understand his impact to you guys. I try to tell him, and he just laughs it off because he's so humble, but I think a cookbook would be incredible. So, Stave Man, stay warm, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Joe, do you use electronics ice fishing? Yes, I do, big time. If you just go back and watch some of my older ice fishing videos or type in live scope or almost all my crappie ones, I shoot a lot of tutorials on how to use electronics. I did it before live scope came out, and I did it with the live scope too. So. Ashton's Outdoors, shiners work good for stock brookies, but the natives anywhere seems to really love worms. Yeah, stock brookies, you're almost better off just using a little pellet. That's what they're used to eating. JJ, the look on Donnie's face when he rolled into camp and all the rafters were up, thinking he was going to be doing them. Yeah, that was my favorite moment of the whole year too. Cheap break, smoking real bad. You ask, what's up, Donnie? He says, bummer. My second act, Steve, did any ever tell you look like Brian Blessed, the British actor? You could play him if they ever do a film. Never even heard of him. Nope. I guess I'll have to Google that. Brian Blessed, the British actor. Man, must be a good-looking guy, I guess. Harlan McLean. Gee, I wonder if he knows that made out of plastic. I both died laughing. Gee, I wonder if he knows that's made out of plastic. Oh, when he was pounding my truck and I told him, yeah, I was like, geez, he might not know it's made out of plastic. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, when Donnie was breaking all the ice off my running boards with my axe, just having the time of his life. And I don't care if he shattered those running boards. He had so much fun and had a smile on his face. And the rest of the day, he forgot about how bad his legs hurt and anything else because it was so rewarding for him just to pound on my truck with that axe. I thought it was great. I'd buy a new set of running boards every day if I could get that reaction again. D. Landsberg, what do you wear for wool? I do wear wool. Yeah, I wear a lot of wool. Johnson's Woolen Mill makes a lot of it. L.O. Bean, which I think Johnson's was making it for L.O. Bean too, or at least they used to. So mostly Johnson's, I guess, out of Vermont. I'm thinking about giving them a shout and seeing if I could come over to their factory or their retail place and see if I could shoot a video with them and maybe do something with them in the future. Jay Olson would buy Donnie's cookbook. Ashton says, "How many furs do you have for Jeff to mount?" I think 2 or 3. Yeah. Tim Bailey says, "My wife wants a Donnie cookbook." Yeah, man, I keep telling him. He thinks I'm joking. He's just so humble. But I think like camping, ice fishing, trapline cookbook, maybe one of each would just be awesome. And the ironic thing is his mother, who died at 105, she was in a lot of cookbooks for her recipes because she was an amazing, amazing cook. And we have those cookbooks, like the 1947 Women's Auxiliary Club of Jefferson, and she had some recipes in there. It was pretty cool. So Harlan said, "You were in there checking traps when you said, 'Geez, I wonder if he knows if they're not plastic,' and you laughed." Yeah, that was an awesome moment. Thank you. TR Actual. Second, the Donnie cookbook suggestion. 3 o'clock pole walk. First ice fishing trip. Where are you planning to come January 1st? So January 1st, I might still be at camp. I might be coming out of the woods because regular trapping's over. I might have beaver sets, so I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest with you, what the date is. But usually I head down and ice fish early with my buddy CJ because, he's down near Freiburg way, and it's the weirdest thing driving 2 hours south, but he always has awesome ice early, and he's an incredible fishing guide. If you guys are ever looking to hire a guide in Maine for fishing, I mean, there's a ton of great guides to choose from, but I can personally vouch for CJ from Burnt Meadow Guide Service. So check him out. And if you want to get on whatever type of fish you want to get on, he can put you on them. And he's incredible with panfish and perch and stuff like that too. So cotton in cold winters a death sentence. You are correct, Jay. You are correct. Robbie Mather. Well, time for bed. Gotta go catch you all later. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in from where all the way over where you are. ND Mike. Ella Bean doesn't make big enough stuff for me usually. I'm a 3XL kind of guy. I love wool stuff. Yeah, check Johnson Wool, man. I had Bob and Elise, a viewer, sent me a Johnson Wool and Mill, the green one I'm wearing, and it fits me. It's awesome. And I think that's considered a 3 for them. I went down to Beans and tried on one of their 3XL jackets. Actually fits me. So the red plaid jacket I have is a 3, but I don't know if that's wool or not. I got to double check that. I think it's partial wool. Mark, take care. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much for the super chat. That was incredible. Ashton says, Jeff went full-time to taxidermy. Yes, he's transitioning into full-time for taxidermy. Randy Marcotte. Every time you guys eat that apple dapple cake, my mouth waters. Yeah, man. I get a picture yesterday from Donnie's granddaughter of a apple dapple cake. So I haven't had any for a long time. So my mouth's watering talking about it. MHD Bison fan. Hi, Joe, Minnesota, checking in. Thanks for checking in, man. I really love everybody from that Minnesota, Wisconsin area, even if you guys don't love each other. So TR Actual. Johnson Wools are great, folks. Gene is great. Oh, see, I don't even know who it is, but yeah, Johnson. To me, like I don't know much from Filson's because they're on the other side of the country, and I don't get a chance to try them on and stuff. But I know Filson's is one of the top brands, but Johnson, my whole life, Johnson Wools has been top of the line, for outdoorsmen, for trappers, ice fishermen, hunters. Once ain't enough. I'm in Lovell next to Freiburg. It'd be awesome to run into. Yeah, man. Like I'm Lovewell Pond. I'm down there a decent amount ice fishing, especially early and late. Ashton says, my brother Jensen says hi. Hello, Jensen. ND Mike. Johnson's makes big stuff. Yeah, they do. Check them out for sure. Yep. And it's worth every penny. I know it's like you can get sticker shock and it's like, oh my God, this much. You're going to have it for life. And it's like a multi-generational piece of clothing. I had my wool pants that I wore every day on the trap line for like 5 years, and every day hunting, every day ice fishing. And I had them over 20 years, and they finally kind of wore out, but I still own them. Lewis Brown, good night. Thanks for tuning in. Trapper Fanatic, I'm stuck in my bathroom right now because my mom doesn't want me to near the living room because I smell like Martin and Fisher lure. Yeah, been there, buddy. David, sorry, Joe, you missed my comment. It was a funny Donnie moment. Oh, David, what was the comment, man? Throw it on there again. Sorry, I missed it. Yeah, if I miss anybody's comment or question, it's not on purpose, guys. Just put it in there again. I'll get to it for sure. Trapping's a short season there. Our trapping season is November to March. Holy cow. So I think our beaver season is longer than that, but everything else generally is like November 3rd to December 31st. ND Mike, look at a Boreal shirt from Leicester River Bushcraft. Pretty nice stuff. Made out of wool, army blankets. Yeah, I follow him on Instagram. So yeah, I got to check that out for sure. MHD Bison fan. Minnesota has virtually no trapping season. Yeah, I've seen your Fisher season, man. That's tough. Way too short. And the Mike says it's like a hoodie on steroids. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, he's got a great Instagram. D Landsberg. Thanks. Sniper Dude. Hello from Northern Michigan, Joe. Welcome. Thanks for tuning back in. Joe, when Donnie was coming. Oh, when he was coming up. Yeah, that was awesome for me. 3 o'clock pull-off. We'll be off of Hartford. Hartford Point. Come American flag flying high near the ice house. Swing by. Yeah. If I'm there, then I'll look for the American flag flying high off the ice house and I'll swing by. I did shoot some jigging videos over there. Well, guys, I've caught up to all the comments and questions. So it turns out we got a lot of people still here. We got 162 people still here. Wow, this live's been over 2 hours. I guess I got to start thinking about some dinner. MHD Bison fan said I had to pause your video upload from today when I saw you were live. I know I'm cutting into my own views, guys. I got a really good video tonight with some trail cam footage and some catches on Martin. Just a great day on the line. And then I also have an ice fishing video popping later tonight too. So why don't we end this? Jay Olson. Well, you guys know what that means. Time to go. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate you. Mr. Nico says, don't forget to hit the like button. Well, John says, well. Take care. Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to end this live right now. I'm going to be, there's a South Carolina. No designated trapping zones. No, we do not. No. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support. I got 2 videos popping tonight. I'm testing out to see if people want to see some ice fishing stuff or not right now. Can't thank you guys enough for the super chats. The super chats were absolutely amazing. 3 o'clock Pollock, Mark. There was a couple up there. I got to go back through them. I can't. It's not letting me go back through them. Sorry about that. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. I'll give you one more. Well, there's a Donnie Welt for you. All right. See if I can figure out how to end this thing. Huh. Uh-oh. We might not be ending it. Uh-oh. I'm not seeing. Oh, end stream. There it is. Okay. End of the stream. Outlaw Jeepers. Thanks for tuning in. Look like Paul Bunyan. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Good night, guys. Have a great night. Let me leave a comment on the other videos tonight if you watched it and maybe your favorite part or whatever. There's a banger of a trapping episode up right now from tonight, and it's the one where I throw chains on the truck to start the day, and we got some trail cam footage, and then there's another ice fishing one coming your way tonight, and maybe another one tomorrow night. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you.